I do. I give him all the sun. I never give up. And if I do next means down, I'll pick him up. I'll pick him up. And he the same. I never give up. I believe in the cause. I'll fight to the end. And we will win.
We're looking for young men who are selfless, who want to be great teammates, as well as the program is second to none. I would place what we do in the off season at any level. Our goal is to move these student athletes on. Creating that culture is paramount to our success here at College of the Canyons, and you have to have this petition in order to achieve that. This is not just a program for football players. This is a program for engineers, future lawyers. We're very excited about the history of College of the Canyons. We've sent players to every major conference, had Cougars participate in the NFL, but we're even more excited about the future.
All right, we're here pregame with Coach Ted Eisen. And Coach, tell us first of all the first two games. How have those gone? I know you've obviously won them, but how would it be right now?
Well, obviously we're very excited about the outcome. Being 2-0 in this division that we're in is extreme. But we talk about it after every practice. You know, we can always be better. We can always be more efficient offense, and on defense, I think we got to be better tacklers. But right now we're playing good football, and
of course Andrew Brito coming back, but boy, he's got some fast receivers to be able to throw to the outside, and it's almost like this team is.
And you know, we thought we'd be dynamic offensively when we started this season, and obviously we've proven to be that. There's no shortage of weapons for Andrew. Aspect of this offense, having a second-year quarterback come back, and it pays so many dividends in terms of leadership.
So we've got the Vaqueros from Santa Barbara City coming into today. I had to look back. I think it's nice. Now, this is a game on paper you should win, but how do you make sure that your guys are continuing where you want this team to compete?
Well, we stress week in, week out that it's not about the opponent we're playing. It's about us and how we echo up and expect to lose. You know, they've got prideful kids and kids with good talent.
Playoffs and make it a run, is that something you talk about, or are you that game-to-game kind of?
Week in, week out, we've got to be 1-0, and we've got to do the little things in order to get us to where we want to be first and foremost, and that is a true challenge because there's some dynamic teams in our conference. And if it just so happens that we're good enough to be in the state playoffs, and you know that is absolutely a goal of ours. We don't start every season, or we don't start any season here.
What is the one thing you want your team to walk away with? Obviously, other than the win, but what is the one thing you want this team to accomplish today?
Both sides of the ball at the same time, and in the kicking game, and you know we've been sporadic where one side is up. I would love to see this team click on all cylinders today.
Awesome. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
SCFA Football Week 3 live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. College of the Canyons hosting Santa Barbara. Kickoff at 6 p.m. Join myself, Mike Cepeda, Barry McKeever, live on the call here from Santa Clarita.
Well, a very pleasant good evening to you, coming to you from College of the Canyons in Cougar Stadium in beautiful Santa Clarita, California. I'm Barry McKeever along with Mike Cepeda, and Cougar football here is on the air. Good to have everybody with us across the world, the World Wide Web. Mike, today Santa Barbara City College coming inland to take on the Cougars. The Cougars, of course, are 2-0 and ranked 6th in the state, and a lot of high expectations coming into the season for this Cougar team. And so far, they've delivered.
You know, this is a team, a Cougar squad that last year was really a threat to the state championship. Obviously, they didn't make it into the Final Four of the SCFA, but a bowl win over Mount Sac. They gave the eventual national champion, Fullerton College, all they wanted and more on this very field a season ago. And I'm very interested to see how the Cougars are going to come out today in their home opener.
Well, let's talk about, of course, you can't talk about this Cougar squad without Andrew Brito. Over 3,000 yards last year, coming in his sophomore year. How much better can he be?
You know, it's really the sky's the limit. You know, he reminds me a lot of Doug Flutie in terms of stature and ability. He's got just a rocket, a cannon of an arm, but he's also very mobile, and he can beat you with his feet if need be. Obviously, you know, given his stature, you don't want him taking a lot of hits in the run game, but he's a very dynamic player, and he's got a couple of very speedy threats in the Pierce brothers, not in blood but in game. They are very fast on the outside, Brandon and Jaron Pierce.
Which is amazing. They both are named Pierce. They both went to high school together, and they are not related. But you've got Jaron Pierce, Brandon Pierce, and then the split ends of August and DeShazer. You talk about speed, talent on the edge for Brito. He's got a lot of weapons to go to this year.
Yeah, you know, last year it was Hunter Schussler. We just talked about the Pierce, the Pierce twins, if you will. When you talk about Jaron Pierce, I had an opportunity to talk with Andrew Brito early in the week, and he says those are his two go-to guys. Those are the two receivers that he feels most comfortable with going to, and Jaron Pierce is an absolute burner. I asked him, hey, what does he run in the 40? He's telling me, I'd say low 4.3s, and to give you an idea, you know, Julio Jones runs a 4.3 40, and at the next level, wearing pads, you know, you can see the difference on the field. You know, they lose Deshaun Holmes. He moves on to bigger and brighter things. But watch out. This is a team that this is a game that type of games. You look at the box scores. Allen Hancock, they hosted Ventura. Ventura ranked number 6 in the state. COC, Allen Hancock, the Bulldogs gave them all they could handle at home. And now Santa Maria, that's a tough place to play. But they get the win 29-28. But that's a game where they found themselves down in the fourth quarter. Ventura did. College of the Canyons has to be careful here because, you know, anything can happen on any given Saturday.
The Santa Barbara City team comes in at 1-1. The first game of the season, a blowout against Compton. Then they lose to Santa Barbara Valley College. Not familiar with them, Mike. I don't know how much we know of Santa Barbara Valley to really gauge what these Vaqueros. One thing we do know is there is an injury to report for the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros. Their starting quarterback, Gerald Hickson, he is a sophomore, 6'1", 210-pounder. He only had 126 yards coming into this game, on the first two games, but he was their starter, and I didn't even see him dressed, and I didn't see him taking warm-ups. So we are expecting him not to play tonight. There's a couple other guys that we're going to be looking at seeing for the first time. Jeremiah Nicholson is a freshman out of Santa Barbara, and then also the other one, John O'Sullivan, a freshman as well out of Illinois, a little bit bigger, 6'3", 200 pounds. So we're going to see somebody new behind under center here for Santa Barbara City.
Yeah, you have somebody in the prototypical size there at 6'3", you know, under center. That can hurt you, but it can also help you in terms of the opposing team. Santa Barbara doesn't have that much continuity if you're a Cougar fan, but then at the same time, you don't have any film on them, so you don't know in what ways they can hurt you on the field. So I expect this defense for Ted Ayasenda to be ready and locked and primed here in their home opener.
So we expect Nicholson to get the start, but also Villarreal, another guy that we could see at quarterback as well, depending upon how things go for Santa Barbara City. So we're just a couple minutes away here, Mike, from kickoff, and let's kind of get things set. And literally we are 2 minutes away. We've got the national anthem, some more things, so stay tuned. Kickoff coming up, Santa Barbara City and College of the Canyons.
Remember, everybody, you can watch this broadcast live on our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You got an Apple TV, you got an Xbox One, you got some type of console with a YouTube app, phone, iPad, you name it. You can stream this to 4K on the big screen. Search SoCal College Sports 1. Doubleheader coverage tonight. LA Pierce hosting San Diego Mesa, and we'll get some scores from around the SCFA to you later on this evening.
All right, so we are set for the kickoff. The Cougars have won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half, and Santa Barbara City will receive here in the first. And our first look at the Cougars in 2018 here. And a guy you're going to hear a lot from, Tanner Brown, is going to be kicking things off. So far, 8 for 8 on the field goals for Tanner Brown, 6 for 6 PATs. He is locally here from Saugus, and the kick is set to be taken about the 10-yard line, up across the 20, and finally down to about the 29-yard line, where Santa Barbara City will set up shop there.
Talked about how good this team is. JC Gridiron poll number 8 in the nation, or in the state rather, are the Cougars, behind Ventura, Riverside going down to Fullerton, the defending state champs a week ago.
You know, we talk a lot about the offense for the Cougars, but this may be one of the best defenses that Ted Eisen has had in his 6 years here at College of the Canyons. Up front, you're going to see a rotation of about 6 or 7 defensive linemen, but Easter, Peoples, Morrison, the anchors there, the handoff try on the left side of the line, and up across the 34 down to about the, well, they're going to call it 34, so it's going to be a 5-yard pickup, set up 2nd and 5. That's Bayonne, the freshman running back, 5'9", 215-pound for him, 165 yards on the season so far. And as we mentioned, the starting quarterback getting his first start is Jeremy Nicholson out of Santa Barbara High School, just a freshman, 6'1", 210-pounder.
Not a bad start if you're the Vaqueros.
And off again, Bayonne left side. He's got enough for the first down across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Mention the Cougars starters for the linebackers, Ike, Spates. Also going to see Jones, Caleb Jones, and these linebackers. Again, Ted Eisen said some of the best 3 linebackers they've had in a long time here. Quick pace and trying the left side. And at running back there for the Vaqueros is Taylor, Clifton Taylor, sophomore. And he gets stopped at the, he's going to actually lose a yard back to the 40-yard line, set up 2nd and 11.
Third time's a charm for the Cougar defense as they're able to get pushed back the other way. 2 successful running plays to open the game for the Vaqueros. And you'd expect probably a very run-heavy scheme given the lack of continuity at the quarterback position for Santa Barbara.
Cougars run 5 defensive backs. Left side again for Taylor, hit and dropped to the backfield. A loss all the way back to the 36-yard line.
Arian Peoples.
Peoples up front, 6'3", 290 pounds for Peoples, the big man. They're going to be moving him around to the inside. He's a tough kid to block. In the secondary for the Cougars this year, they're going to, like I said, 5 DBs. You're going to see the safeties of Lowry. Of course, Vuka Bradovic. Jacques is number 15, the free safety. The nickelback is Darius Vukobradovic, and the quarterbacks are Mills and Taylor. You know, this may be, Ted Eisen talks about these cornerbacks. He's got 5 cornerbacks, and these are some of the best cornerbacks in all Southern California JUCO football. So 3rd and long here for Santa Barbara City at their own 38-yard line. First time we see Nicholson pass, and that was a dangerous one. They tried the screen on the near side, and nothing going there.
Charles Ike he was thinking pick 6 there, just a little bit out of the area, but not a 3 and out, but the Cougars will take it, and they'll have pretty good field position. And back to receive this kick, Leroy DeShazer.
So on the punt for the Vaqueros is Martin Alstrom. Averages 37 yards a kick. And actually, no, I take it back. That's going to be Olgiati, the backup punter. DeShazer taking his own 20. Breaks a couple tackles still on his feet, and he's finally taken out the 27-yard line. Well, Cougars will set up shop there, and their first offensive series of the game. And, you know, Mike, there's something missing today. Well, first of all, we have to talk about the Cougars uniform. These are the first time the Cougars have ever been in all yellow. So brand new unis, but there is something missing on Andrew Brito's uniform. It's from last year. It's a 1. Notice he is number 2 this year. He has changed his number. We'll talk about that in a second. Quick throw right side. Catch is made up across the near the 30-yard line. And
Demarius August.
August with the quick catch. But he talked about it. He was kind of a little bit coy, but he met Johnny Manziel and is a Manziel fan, and that may be the impetus behind moving to number 2.
Well, he comes from a big-time program, Paramus Catholic in New Jersey. That's a squad that's usually in the thick of it in the national hunt.
And off to Dunn, and he's got room on the right side. Finally knocked out of bounds near the 45-yard line. And a nifty little pickup of about 15, and they move the chains. First down for the Cougars.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. Just a really good through that home, very decisive.
The big boys up front. We'll talk about Spates, Winslow, Palmer, and Harmon in just a second. Dunn trying the right side. Again, he's got a lot of room. He gets tripped up just past midfield into Vaquero territory down near the first down. Again, it looks like you pick up 9. They'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Cougars moving the ball with ease here, something that you would have expected coming in. It's a very, very steady player at QB in Andrew Brito, but looks like Caden Dunn. Very nice burst early on.
Triple receivers to the left, and Brito is going to keep it himself and shrugs off a tackle at midfield. Now calls for another block downfield, still on his feet all the way down inside the Vaquero 35 down to the 33-yard line.
Let's watch this effort here from Brito. Brito on the read option tucks it back in, and with an opportunity to get him up, Matthew Molina could not bring down Brito for the Cougars, coming through in a big way. First down, COC.
You think because of his stature that he likes to run. He actually wants to throw the ball. He's obviously very accurate with the arm, but he will run when he has to, and obviously very effective there. First and 10 for the Cougars at the 33 of Santa Barbara City.
Wiggins at the top.
Play action again, right over the middle, wide open and dropped inside the 20-yard line.
And that's done, and done out of the backfield. It was thrown a little bit behind him, and with good reason. Got a defender right there just thinking to jump that route over the top. But Dunn unable to reel that one in. That was on his hands. That's one that he should catch.
Anderson coming in for Dunn. That play action worked to perfection, but the incompletion sets up a 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. 3 receivers to the right. Handoff goes to Taylor, and he cuts back, makes a nice move up across the 30 down near the 25-yard line. They're going to give him 8 yards. Check it, 7 yards of the pickup, 3rd and 3. Miles Anderson out of Encino, went to Crespi. Freshman, 5'9", 204 pounds. And looks like we got some movement on the line. A free play for the Cougars here. Brito wants it all. Going in the end zone. Incomplete.
Yeah, that time looking for Wiggins. That's just a heady play by a savvy quarterback. You see Brito utilizing the hard count there. Gets a free play out of it. They're getting 5 going in the wrong direction if you're a Vaquero fan. And I'd say this is going to be a first down.
So the 5 yards puts it down near the, we'll call it the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, new set of downs for the Cougars. And now we've got a whistle. And
I think we're having an issue with the play clock here.
the score clock stopped with 10-12 left in the first, so they're going to put it back to 10-18 on the game clock.
Yep. Get some scores from around the SCFA to you shortly.
Same formation with the trips to the right. They're going to move August in a little tighter to the left side. Brito, straight drop back now. He's going to scramble. Look away.
Smart play, not trying to do too much there. Had an opportunity.
We do have a flag, and as you see, that's a hold, so it is going to come back.
Well, oftentimes you see when a quarter rolls out of the pocket like that against the grain, Longstreet is going to come out.
So we mentioned that line up front, Harmon, Harmon, Palmer, Feinzierl, Spates. And by the way, I took a couple years of German in high school, Mike, so it's going to help me tonight because we've got the two German kids up front. Actually, we have a little bit of an international connection here. So we've got Germany represented, Poland, Sweden. And he's going to get just inside the 30. Not much there.
It'll be a modest game for the Cougars, but still another positive play. And outside of a penalty, we haven't really seen anything negative-wise for the Cougars.
Sets up a 2nd and 18 situation for the Cougars.
I got to tell you, early on, it seems like a little jitters here from the Cougars. I don't think they're as sharp as they want to be, and that's something that they're.
Burrito State drop back. He's going to step up, and he gets out of the grasp of a lineman. Now throws it downfield, and a nifty little catch down near the 25-yard line. And making the grab there was Brandon Pierce.
Not a shocker, Pierce. We talked about in the pregame there, Barry. Just a go-to guy. Just great synergy with his receiver on that play. Pierce coming back, making a play. It's another positive game, but 3rd and long coming up now.
And that's the power of Andrew Burrito in extending that play. Most quarterbacks are going to go down there with the sack. He extends the play and gets a couple yards out of it. 3rd and 13 at the Santa Barbara City 25 for the Cougars. Looking the near sideline for the call. Straight drop back. He's got time. Now he's got to run, and he is this time. The sack made there by the Vaqueros.
Yeah, Olgiati, I think, was one of the first ones to get to him.
Olgiati, yeah, coming from his inside backer spot. They were bringing a couple there. So we're going to see Tanner Brown again. Now he's kicked a 47-yarder this season. He's 8 for 8.
Well, this one's going to be about 45.
Yeah, they're going to tee right up at the 43, or at the 33, I should say. So it's a 43-yarder for Brown. High snap, and back near midfield, and it's going to be thrown downfield incomplete. And the hold was Junpai Dabashi. And I'm trying to see whether, they use 2 long snappers on the field goals. So Wiggins is in there. Sometimes the long snapper, it's either Wiggins or Fainga'a. So didn't get a number on that, but whoever it was, snap went a little bit high. Over.
Everybody watching on YouTube, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to engage us in the chat box. See if we can get back to you throughout this broadcast. Mike Cepeda, Barry McKeever live from Santa Clarita.
Big hit for the Cougars coming up from his strong safety spot, Shadrick Lowry. He's one of the top defenders in the conference, and you're going to see right here exactly why. Look at him step up and close. So no gain, 2nd and 10 for Santa Barbara City.
I tell you, Lowry, that was out of the school of the Ronnie Lott Hall of Fame.
Play action, back to pass Nicholson. Deep pass, he's got a man wide open. He overthrew him at the 30-yard line.
Pass. Looks like that was intended.
Was Whitehead.
Yeah.
Malik Whitehead, a freshman, 5'9", 155, the speedster. And he had beaten the secondary. I think Mills was on the coverage there. Mills, the sophomore out of Quartz Hill High School. So it's going to set up 3rd and 10 for Santa Barbara City. 7:50 left in the first quarter. Still no score. The Cougars on their opening drive, not able to even attempt the field. This Cougar defense is very stingy, and especially with the Santa Barbara City offense that hasn't produced a lot. Quick throw left side. That's Quinn out of it's from the tight end position, and nothing going there. As making the nice tackle coming up, that was Vukobradovic. That was Jacques, the freshman. The two brothers from Grace Brethren, freshman and a sophomore, and the younger of the two is the bigger one, and he's got a lot of speed as well, Mike.
Well, Barry, we see early on here, both teams leaving big plays out there. Whitehead, the intended target on the long pass, and he had his man beat, but unfortunately unable to haul that one in.
Olgiati's going to kick it again, the lefty, And it's a wobbly short kick. It is going to take a Santa Barbara City bounce, and DeShazer is going to pick it up, but he's not going to go anywhere. They'll start it at their own 30-yard line for the Cougars.
DeShazer yet again indecisive in terms of what he wanted to do with the football. And it cost him. You see the defense get right on top of him. That's a good job there by Santa Barbara special teams-wise.
So we'll see what Andrew Brito and the Cougar offense has this time around. First and 10 at their own 30. And Brito's going to keep it try the left side, and he dropped the ball.
Ball on the deck.
And it looks like Santa Barbara City has it.
Flag on the field. I don't think it's going to matter here. Brito still on the turf. Ball is out. It's going back to the Vaqueros.
Matthew Molina on the recovery for Santa Barbara City, and it is going to be against the Cougars. Obviously, that will be declined. So first turnover of the game, and Santa Barbara City all the way down. Let's see where they placed it. I think they're going to put it right around the 33. So it'll be first and 10 at the Cougar 33-yard line. 6:52 left in the first. Still no score here, and this Cougar defense going to have to step up here.
Yeah, the offense not doing the defense any favors here, and I got to tell you, the defense not as sharp early on, nearly had a play that burned them for a long one.
So Nicholson with two backs behind him. Bayonne, handoff straight forward. He gets a couple down to the 31. It'll bring him 2nd and 8.
It's a great job by Tariq Spates, really crashing that hole, not allowing anything on that run. A modest gain of a couple, 2nd and 8 coming up.
Ike was also in there, and Charles Ike is a great story of really the benefits of junior college football, and was down at I think it was at UC Riverside, wasn't he, the last year, and wasn't playing. It was done with football, and decided he wanted to come back and play again. Handoff to Bayonne inside, and he's hit and dropped at the 30. Nice tackle coming up and making the play where there was Johns, the linebacker. And the Cougar defense on a facing a 3rd and 6 here. And Santa Barbara City doesn't have a lot of weapons. I mean, they don't look to be real effective. The Cougar defense gets that penetration across the line that's been really disrupting the Santa Barbara City offense.
Yeah, tough to figure here. You say maybe not as many playmakers at your disposal, but Whitehead has had an ability to create separation.
Oh, and Quinn dropped it. He had the first down, and Quinn from Santa Barbara City dropped it over on the Vuka Bradovic was over on the coverage. He was there late. They would have had the first down, but the drop pass brings up a 4th and 6, and looks like they're going to attempt the kick.
It looks like Ulstrom.
Ulstrom, and Ulstrom on the season is 3 of 4. His longest is 37 yards, so this by far would be his longest. Teeing it up at the 36 from the left hash mark, so a 46-yarder.
4th and 6. Watch for a fake here.
Got a short kick. It's actually got enough leg, but it's wide left, so it's going to be no good, and the score remains 0-0. 5:28 left in the first, and the Cougars dodge a bullet on the turnover. Mike, I want to thank Salt Creek Grill for a proud Cougar supporter for years. One of the, I know you're not from the area, but I'll tell you what, if you are in Santa Clarita, the best fine dining restaurant in Santa Clarita by far is Salt Creek. Been around for 19 years. Actually, it's going to be 20 years coming up this fall, right in the mall, and just doing some fantastic things. So thanks again for them for supporting Cougar football. Brito on the delay. He's going to run it himself, get up across the 25 near the 26-yard line. So the 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Barry, early on, both sides of the football not very sharp, and you just have to be better from an execution standpoint. Brito running the ball too much, and you talked about how he prefers to throw the football, and he can't hurt you with his feet. Coach Ted Iancendi can't be happy with the volume of running.
That's that run-pass option. The RPO completed downfield across the 45, up near midfield to the 47-yard line. And making the play over there, Jaron Pierce. Pierce came into this game with 15 receptions, 252 yards, 47, first and 10 for the Cougars there. 22 yards on the pickup. Quickly to the ball, the tempo. Back to pass, Brito, ton of time. Across the middle, wide open, inside Vaquero territory, down near the 37-yard line.
August
on that, come from that split end spot on the near side and just did that, the old curl route,
yep.
We used to call it.
11-yard pickup on the play. More importantly, another set of downs here for the Cougars. Well, moving the ball in the meat of the field, but the question is, can you move it in between the 25s?
The play action right side, catches made
Pierce again.
by Pierce again, at Jaron Pierce, and he's going to be up across the 30, inside down to the 28. A pickup of 8 will be 2nd and 2. Clock still running, 4 minutes left in the first.
Barry, we've often talked about the arm strength of Andrew Brito. You know, he's a former baseball player, still a baseball player, took last year off, looking to play this year for the Cougars and their baseball program. You have to be thrilled if you're the baseball coach here at College of the Canyons. But, you know, that ball gets on Pierce in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And what a luxury that is, because it gives you that much more time, split second, to get in stride.
Under pressure, gets it away, catches made, down inside the 15, inside the 10, the 5, and that is August again. And it's going to be first and goal for the Cougars at the 5 of Santa Barbara City.
Just a really nice play here from August, getting open for his receiver. Terrific execution. We'll have too many men on the field call against the Vaqueros. So the wheels coming off here defensively for Santa Barbara City.
That's the 3rd catch of the night for August. $44 yards for him. Brito so far 6 of 7 on the night for 77 yards. Talk about efficient. And the only incompletion was that one to Dunn, which was a little bit behind him. And Dunn will tell you probably should have had it. So Andrew Brito looking very sharp in the home opener for 2018.
Yeah, any receiver, running back tells you if the ball hits you on the hands, you should catch that ball.
First and goal for the Cougars at the 2.5-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield. Brito dropped it. Now he picks it up, running, and he's going to go down at the 10-yard line. So the loss all the way back to the 10. It'll be 2nd and goal there.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there, a little indecision there from Brito. We'll see the replay here.
I think it's one of those where you get caught looking downfield. We're not ready. He just took his eye off the ball.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
2nd and goal from the 10. 2.5 minutes left in the first. And sometimes you'll see them change. It looks like they changed the play, so they got
August
the audible.
one-on-one near side.
There it is, the fade to August, and too far, incomplete.
Yeah, I think that's one where if it's completed or if it's thrown within a catchable radius, I think the flag's going to come out. But August, that ball well past the dotted line from Brito.
That fade route becoming more and more popular on all levels.
Well, it was one-on-one on the near side was August. They bring over Brandon Pierce down the slot.
3rd and goal now at the Santa Barbara 10 for the Cougars offense. Getting the call from Ted Iacent on the near sideline. Now barks it out, and Taylor's going to move to check, and Anderson move to the right. Now across the middle.
Got him.
And good. Touchdown catch there by Brandon Pierce, and the Cougars get on the board, lead 6-0, 2:08 left in the first, pending the point after. And this was just, this was a bullet.
We said in a hurry.
Didn't see the route on the near side, but I'll tell you, there we go. Oh, that's a good look at it right there. You just saw the head fake to the inside and went to the flag route, and bam. And Brito threw it on the break.
And that's just a terrific job there.
This time the snap is down and the hold is down and the kick is up. So the point after is good by Tanner Brown. And with 2:08 left in the first, the Cougars get on the board first. They lead 7-0 here in the 2018 home opener of Cougar football. I also want to thank AV Equipment Rental. supporting Cougar football. AV Equipment has been around for decades here in Santa Clarita, and if you're a contractor, you know that, and you know all the huge machinery they have. But if you're a homeowner, they also have smaller equipment. And, you know, Mike, sometimes you go to those Home Depot, I didn't say it, but those other places, and they don't really, they can't help you. They're just somebody there. Well, the guys at AV Equipment Rental know what tool they have, and it's so important to have the right tool. You get a good, you get a great deal on it, but you also get, they help you. They help you figure it out how to work it, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's sometimes, you know, when you go to some of the bigger companies.
Did I say the H word? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't hear. We're going to give you a pass. I think we can edit that out.
We can edit that out, right?
No, it's a great point that you make. You know, sometimes in the bigger scheme of things, you get lost in the shuffle. Certainly doesn't happen at AV Equipment.
Oh, big hit. Try to catch a number. That was it Latu? Yeah, KJ Latu. The big linebacker, 5'11", 240 pounds, and Latu just broke through. Watch this right here on the near sideline, and just the returner. Latu, a product out of Paraclete High School. Of course, Dean Harrington helping with the play calling duties at College of the Canyons. Play action for Nicholson, tries the left side, catch is made at the 25-yard line, up across to the 26. So
Whitehead again.
Second and 4.
And Whitehead, as we've talked about it before, seems to be a player that is garnering a lot of separation on the outside and may continue to become a focal point in this offense as the game goes along.
We'll see in there Antonio Hunt getting some time as well. So Bayonne trying the left side, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, that's just not going to work. And Tariq Spates yet again playing very well this far early for the defense for COC. 1:14 and counting here to go in the first quarter. 7-0. Cougars on top in their home opener over the Vaqueros from Santa Barbara.
Spates, a local product out of Valencia. Went to NAU last year and didn't quite find a spot for him. And Ted Isenda said, I got a spot for him. Boy, he just found a home here at College of the Canyons. A real student of the game as well. 3rd and 5 of their own 25 for Santa Barbara City. Inside a minute left in the first. And under pressure, was still looking downfield. Actually was caught.
Yeah, it looked like Nicholson had nowhere to go, but at the very last minute it was Leland Gropper. Pass is complete up to the 25-yard line, but about 5 yards short of the first down. And
well, actually, now they're saying, I think now they're saying Mike, it was incomplete. It looked like they called it complete at first, but the back judge waved it off. So it's incomplete pass. Gropper getting his first start of the season. A big kid, 6'5", 200-pounder from Washington. So Ogliati will punt for the 3rd time tonight, and the lefty gets it off, and it's a short one. But again, it takes a Santa Barbara City finding a lot of friends in white jerseys around there, and gets it back to the 34-yard line. We do have a flag down near midfield.
An area where you would suspect a hold would be.
I was going to say hold or block in the back. Oh.
24 seconds. The clock stopped here in the first quarter. You're watching COC football live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Mike Cepeda, Barry McKeever. Double header coverage here on SoCal College Sports. San Diego Mesa traveling to L.A. Pierce. Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson, Ryan Wilmore in Winnetka.
So the 15-yard penalty means the Cougars are going to start inside their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 19. Burrito sends triple receivers to the left side. The back offset to the left is Anderson, and give it to Anderson right side, and he's still running. Plenty of room up near midfield and out of bounds. 1-yard pickup, and man, there was a lot of room for Anderson to run there. Anderson, the 200-pounder, 5'9", with, you can see a lot of speed there as well.
I hit the edge and a lot of burn there.
So 1st and 10 at midfield, and the clock expires, and that means we are done in the first quarter. So at the end of one, the COC Cougars lead 7-0 over Santa Barbara City.
Spread the word, everybody. www.socalcollegesports.com. Also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You have anything with the YouTube app, search SoCal College Sports 1. You can catch all of our action live and archived.
Pretty good crowd on hand tonight. It is first responder tonight. It's first responder night tonight, so first responders with ID get in free at College of the Canyons. A lot of people enjoying the warm night, 87 degrees at kickoff. Brito, left side, man open, incomplete. Overthrew to Shazer.
I don't know if DeShazer maybe rounded off that cut. He was supposed to cut out. I think maybe a little bit too round coming around. But I thought Brito did a nice job of putting it on his hands. DeShazer just unable to reel that one in.
At 6'2", pretty good size target for Brito. DeShazer now will line up in the split in on the far left side. Brito rolling to his left. Looking downfield. Wants it all. Incomplete. He overthrew Pierce there. Jaron Pierce just about 2 yards past him. He had him open.
Not often does he get overthrown with his speed, and that's one that Brito would like that. Back Pierce with a huge step would have been in for 6.
So Vandenberg coming in at tight end. Also in at the split end spot is Dabashi. So a little bit of a different set here as they bring the tight end to the left for Brito. Split right. Still looking, throws out of the backfield, incomplete. Anderson might have had the first down, but you got to catch the ball first, and the Cougars will punt for the first time tonight.
Unfortunate there. Brito did a great job of reading the defense, taking what the defense was giving him. He goes short, checks down to Anderson, and Anderson right in his mitts loses the football, and it's 4th down.
So Walker sent to receive the punt from. And I think we do have timeout on the field.
Yeah, timeout on the field. Get some scores from around the SCFA. Fullerton all over Santa Ana, 85-0 in an early game earlier today. El Camino over LA Harbor, 49-24. Golden West, big winner over West LA, 48-12. Mount San Jacinto by a touchdown, 42-35 over Grossmont. Mount San Jacinto, 3-0 in 2018. Ventura, we talked about it earlier. They go down to Allen, or they win by 1 at Allen Hancock, 29-28. Allen Hancock with 14 points in the 4th quarter, but they come up just short. Missed extra point from what I hear in that final frame. Long Beach 24-7 at the half versus LA Valley. And Chaffee surprisingly over Mount Sac, 7-0 there at the start of the second.
You know, it's so hard in junior college football how you have the turnover. You really have the 2 years to work with these kids, sometimes only 1, and you can have, teams that, like the big programs like Fulton, reload, but a lot of these teams are just totally different from year to year. So it really takes about the week 4 to week 5 till you really know what you have with these teams. Brown has plenty of time. He kicks it away, and this one's going to bounce inside the 10 and take a sideways bounce, and beautiful inside the down to the 5-yard line as Walker just lets it go, and a nice.
Just incredible job there by Brown. Just really paints the 5. And Santa Barbara, they're in a world of hurt in terms of field position. They're going to need a play.
That's a 45-yard punt with no return, and more importantly, it pins Santa Barbara City deep inside their own territory. Consumers Furniture are located right off of Golden Triangle Road, just down the hill from Sam's Club. They've got a big sale going on this week. In fact, they have the largest leather furniture gallery in all of Santa Clarita. Nicholson with a handoff to Bayonne on the left side. He's got about a yard, and that's it. And Mike, this defensive line, where in fact you look right, coming in there off you can see on your screen, Gio Ramirez is coming in, and they're going to rotate. And you know what that means for a defensive line to get rotated in every 2-3 plays, especially at this pace and this level of football. You don't have that luxury often in junior college football, and Ted Isenda has it this year.
Yeah, it's something that he didn't have last year. You go back to the Fullerton game a season ago. Fullerton has a ton of depth, and COC lacking that department in 2017. They have regrouped, and they have added to the depth. Of course, you lose the likes of Nuachukwu Juice, Dorian Gerald off to Arkansas. That's an SEC talent playing right now at a big-time school, and you expect a little bit of a drop-off, maybe talent-wise, but certainly their depth is not short in 2018.
Tell you what, Shadrick Lowry had Nicholson in his sights, and he was just chomping at the bit, running him down from behind, and Nicholson didn't even see him, but wisely did get rid of the ball. So the incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 9 for Santa Barbara City at their own 6-yard line. Clock stopped, 13:42 left in the first half. We'll see if they just hand it off, and they do. Hit in the backfield, but it looks like breaks the tackle. That's Bayonne up across the 10 to the 13. He's still going to be a couple yards shy of a first down. It could have been a big loss back there, but they broke the tackle of McGregor.
Defense makes a play, and Santa Barbara forced to punt it away. Big fight tonight here, Barry. Who you got, Canelo or Triple G?
Oh, you got to go with Triple G, don't you?
I don't know. It was pretty heads up. I don't know. Triple G seems a little ripe. I'd probably, if I were a betting man, probably take Triple G, but Canelo very live.
So Olgiati on to attempt his 4th punt of the night. And this one, again, a wobbly. It's a short one. And it's down inside the 45, the 44 of Santa Barbara City. The Cougars have great field position. I'll put it at the 45. So short field to work with here for the Cougars. Mike, we can talk a little bit about the conference shakeup and what the conference looks like. We'll talk about that in just a little bit and kind of give you a preview of what the Cougars are going to be facing in their Northern Conference, National Northern. So 1st and 10 for College of the Canyons at the Santa Barbara 45, and Brito's going to take it himself. He's got room, right side, cuts back near the 30-yard line down there to the 31, and the pickup of 14 is going to bring up another first down. Now watch Brito, just look how long he holds that and rides that handoff and just freezes the linebackers and then takes it himself up the middle. So 1st and 10 at the 31 of Santa Barbara. The inside handoff, moving forward down to the 25. That's McFadden. His first carry of the night. And, Coach Isenda told us we were going to see about 4 or 5 running backs tonight, and it wasn't going to just be all the done show. So that's our 3rd running back in the game tonight for the Cougars.
Yeah, this is an opportunity, for your depth to shine and, maybe earn a couple more snaps as the season goes along.
2nd and 4. Bubble screen, right side, catch is made, 20, 15, cuts back inside the 10-yard line, brought down there. That's August again, his 4th catch of the evening. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 10.
Brito, just a great job here. And Demarius August having a big first half here for COC.
Demarius August, not a guy I would want to tackle. So you see movement there, and looks like another free play. And August spinning around inside near the goal line. He's going to be right about the 1-yard line. There was movement on the near side. It looked like The Vaqueros jumped off. There was even movement on the right tackle. I thought they were going to actually whistle it dead because you did have offensive movement, but it was because of the end.
Yeah, if the movement is induced by the defense, as long as he's in the neutral zone, that's going to be 5 going the other way. But we'll wait on the call here. But I suspect that the Cougars are going to take 5 yards going in the Vaquero direction.
We'll hear from Max Hernandez. So they'll use the 9-yard pickup down to the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1 for the Cougars. They bring in the 2 backs of the backfield. Left. Deep man is McFadden. And the handoff is to McFadden. It looks like he got in. He did. Touchdown, Cougars.
The defense starting to wear down here for Santa Barbara.
Look at that low right there. Jump over. I think I could have jumped over and got that one. Well, let's not get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In fact, yeah,
I'd like to see it.
no, you wouldn't.
Riverside 28-21 over San Bernardino Valley. 2:34 remaining in the first quarter. And still in the second quarter, Chaffee 7-0 on top of Mount Sac.
That is McFadden's first touchdown as a Cougar. And Brown, who's been perfect all season long, is still perfect. And the point after is good for in the first half of the Cougars, out to a 14-0 lead over Santa Barbara City. Opportunity to thank those sponsors helping out Cougar football, equipment, AV Equipment Rentals. Been around for years. Hey, the thing is, they rent skip loaders, but you can also get propane for your barbecue. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
But great place because, I'm not going to tell anybody this, but this is just between you and me, Mike. You get ripped off when you do those refill things. You really do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to AV.
Are you talking about when you go to the gas station?
Yeah, and you get the ones that are already filled, and you just give them the empty one, and they charge you about $30 for about $16-17. You can actually refill, even if it's one of those refills. So that's kind of like a little tip there. I just saved everybody $13. Salt Creek Grill in the mall, best Sunday brunch in town, bar none. So Brown with a high kick. It's going to be taken at the 7, and we've got a whistle. It's like offsides down back at the 35-yard line, so they're going to have to redo it. But we look at this new conference in the Northern Conference. You've got, of course, College of the Canyons, Ventura, Bakersfield, East Los Angeles, and Long Beach City comes in there. Moore Park, what do we know of Long Beach City? I mean, they're kind of an enigma to us. We haven't seen them in so long.
Well, anytime you have a team that's coached by Brett Peabody, you got to be careful. He just runs a fantastic program, always a threat, always builds up his defense. You just offensively, if he has some talent and some steady play at the quarterback position, watch out for that team. 1-1 on the season, but 2018 still young, but you expect them to be in the mix.
So they'll move it back to the 30, and Brown will tee it up there. Actually, this one's deeper, going all the way inside the 5, and that's
Whitehead.
It is Whitehead taking the near sideline. He's going to get dropped inside the 15. A flag is going to go down.
2 flags. I wonder if this is maybe the same penalty or maybe a couple piling up here on the Vaqueros.
Josh Madison out of Newberry Park, and the former Panther, the freshman DB, with a tackle inside the 20-yard line. We'll see what the call is here. Again, the referee, Max Hernandez, umpire Terry Cole. Head linesman is Frank Fontes. Gabriel Lopez, the line judge. Field judge is Bernard Robinson. Side judge, David Hartage. And the back judge is Salvador Carrillo. So Javon Gale, a freshman out of Phoenix, Oregon. And yes, there is a Phoenix, Oregon. That penalty brings it back inside the 10 to the 7. So for two consecutive series, Santa Barbara City is going to start inside their own 10-yard line. The deep handoff to Bound gets it up near the 10-yard line. Stop there. Spates made sure his forward progress did get past that 9-yard line. So they'll give him a 2-yard pick. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. 11 minutes and counting left here in the first half. The home opener for the College of the Canyons Cougars. Ranked currently 4th in the Southern California poll, 6th in the state poll.
Making some noise nationally for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, and hand off deep in the backfield and a huge play.
That one made by Morrison. Johnny Morrison, the third, all over that one. We'll see it here on the replay. Morrison getting there in a hurry.
I'm not sure if he's just so quick.
I mean, that's essentially a jump cut, something you see very often from a running back.
And usually when that tackle, when your end goes inside like that, you can give him a shove and he's not going to make the play. But that just shows the speed of Morrison to still run down the line and not run after the back, but run down the line to make the play behind the line of scrimmage. So the loss all the way back to the 5-yard line, 3rd and 13 here for Santa Barbara City. Play action pass. Nicholson rolling to his right. He's going to keep it himself. Spates is going to run him down and take him down at just past the 10-yard line, well short of the first down. And we're going to see Olgiati again, a punt for the 5th time tonight for the Vaqueros.
That's a good sell job there.
Look at Spates. Look at how fast he closed. Watch this.
And he thought he might have had it initially, but just a great job by Spates getting there in quite a hurry.
So they put Brandon Pierce back to receive. We've seen DeShazer the first 4 times, but this time and the last time, Brandon Pierce. And the short kick, Pierce, he is going to pick it up. He's thinking about it, and he's going to go down right there immediately at midfield.
Yeah, Pierce, one of those electric players, a lot of speed, and using a little bit of a utility role. You think players like Randall Cobb, just very versatile. They had him lined up at running back last year in addition to wide receiver. We see him returning punts here, an electric player at the disposal of Coach Ted Iacenda and this Cougar offense.
Brandon has offers to Arkansas State and Toledo, and I'm sure there's going to be added to those lists. Colleges coming up. 1st and 10 for the Cougars at midfield, up 14-0, 9-11 left in the first half. Brito with 110 yards through the air so far. 9 of 14, and the delay handoff inside up near the 46-yard line and a pickup of 4. And that was our first look at Torrance. And, Kenny Torrance, a guy that had a severe ankle injury and wasn't sure about coming back, but Coach Iacenda talked to him and said, come on back. And tell you what, Coach Iacenda said, Torrance may be a guy that before the season's over is going to really contribute to the Cougars.
Yeah.
So 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6. The play action, Brito complete downfield inside the 40. And that is Jaron Pierce. Pierce finally out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Watch this play here from Brito. I mean, you talk about the RPO and how it shoots. Takes it, tucks it, does not give it off, makes the perfect read, finds the open receiver, and Jaron Pierce makes a play.
And Pierce got about the last 6 yards on his own. 16 yards, the pickup, 1st and 10 for the Cougars now in the Santa Barbara City 30. 8-18 and counting. Cougars trying to add to their 14-point lead here. Straight drop back, wants the fade, the near side, and incomplete. He had
for Eby.
Yeah, it looked like had Eby there, and Eby couldn't bring it in.
Elijah, another big body on the outside for Brito to use, 6'4", 180. He's a sophomore from Panorama City.
Definitely had the height advantage there. So the incomplete pass brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. Torrance still in at running back. Straight drop back, and here comes Torrance out of the backfield. The screen, got a blocker in front of him. Inside the 20, cuts back at the 15. Actually looks like he went out of bounds on that cutback.
Yeah, about the 16, 17-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 17, but 17. That's one heck of a play there.
Yeah, 13-yard pickup, enough for a first down, moving the chains again. And Mike, is now we've seen these Cougars here for, almost they can pretty much do anything. You've got Torrance out of the backfield here on the screen. We've seen the downfield throw. We've seen the RPO. We've seen the Brito keep it himself.
Well, just very versatile offensively, and you expect that from, the type of quarterback play that they're going to get this season. But Brito's got to stop running the ball. And I think Coach Eisender would agree. Ran the ball too many times this half. Like to see him pass it a little bit more. Here's Pierce.
Jaron Pierce up to about the 10-yard line, a pickup of 7, 2nd and 3. And of course, we talked to Coach Eisender before the game, and he said, we take it game to game. It's all the cliche stuff, but they've got to be talking about making the state playoffs, especially after the disappointing. What they felt was a slight, but it is the way they selected. They were the odd man out last year, and I think they took that into the offseason and used it to their advantage, and this team really seems to be focused. Handoff to the right side.
Here's Dunn.
And Dunn's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. So Cade got a flag at the 11-yard line, hold everything, and this was on the edge.
Yeah, I got a feeling this one's coming back. Pick one. 2 fouls on the play as indicated by the white hat. That'll give us an opportunity here to plug social media. Tweet at us at SoCal College SVO, also as on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Be sure to visit our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Thank you to Matthew Henson, graphics producer and remote director.
So after the 10-yard holding penalty, puts it back out at the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 13. They got to get to the 7. Brito scrambling to the right, throws it downfield, wide open at the 5, into the end zone, and it's too easy for August.
What a move by August, and Javon Gale still looking for his sneakers. Let's watch this play here from August. His stutter after he receives the football from Brito. Brito buying himself some time. August makes one move. Up.
Oof.
One more time here. As August puts his foot in the ground, goes one way. So Tyree Barton.
Out of the hold of Tabashi. Tanner Brown with a kick. Up and good. So 6:34 left in the first half, and the Cougars extend their lead 21-0 now.
You're watching SCFA Football Week 3. Cougars, COC on top of Santa Barbara.
So Tanner Brown will tee it up for the Cougars. 6:34 left in the first half. In what, quite frankly, we expected the Cougars to win this game. This one's a little bit shorter, taken at the 13-yard line to the 20 and brought down to the 25. That's
Patrick Dill on the return for Santa Barbara. Steep hill to climb. We're only in the second quarter, 6:27 to go, and Barry, you're exactly right. This is a game where you have to hold serve, and you can say it's a bit of a cupcake, but this is an opportunity for the team offensively and defensively to stay sharp, get sharp, and really fine-tune what they want to do this season. Because the competition coming in here is not going to get any easier.
Well, and I think it's a great opportunity for the guys who are second and third string to prove that they can play and that they're capable of coming in the big games. And we already talked about how important as they try the left side. Bayonne gets it up near the 25 or the 35-yard line, I should say, and they're going to actually move the chains, the 10-yard pickup. But
yeah, it looks like Tamir Walker there on that carry, and that's a terrific job blocking up front by the Vaqueros.
But if the Cougars are going to compete at the level that they need to at the state level, they're going to have to go 2 and 3 deep in some of these positions. And this game gives these guys the needed playing time that they need, because practice time isn't the same thing.
You just can't replace live reps. You're exactly right in any sport.
Now blocked at the line of scrimmage, and
I believe that was Arion.
Was it Peoples?
Again.
Yeah. People's got a big paw up there. The freshman out of Quartz Hill High School. He won the CIF title last year at Quartz Hill.
We saw that big run early on this drive by Tamir Walker for Santa Barbara. You know, that's what we're talking about. You know, as far as defensively, that second, third unit getting some run here early in a ball game where you're up 21-0. You know, that's something you can't have, and you have to show up.
So 2nd and 10 for the Vaqueros. Whitehead in motion now to the far side. They unbalance that right side, and they'll run it to the right side of one. Again, that's Tamir Walker.
It looked like Gio Ramirez, first man there for the Cougars. Gang tackling from COC.
Clock still running. 5:23 left in the first. The 3rd and long. Nicholson drops straight back. Nobody open. He's going to scramble to the right side. He's going to have to go out of bounds. Forced out there by Ike. And just a short gain. The
concentration mounting here for Nicholson. Just really nobody to throw to. And Barry, you touched on it earlier. You know, this is a defensive back group here for Ted Iacenti and company for the Cougars that's really going to shine this year. And they are allowing no time in the secondary for Nicholson to find any targets.
That's the proverbial coverage sack. Even though it was a gain of 1, it ended up so what it turns out to be. And actually, Ogiati barely gets that one away. And it's going to go out of bounds. Finally inside the 25. They're going to mark it at the 24.
Yeah, Michael Naknak nearly had a block punt.
And Jeremiah Nicholson, the starting quarterback, he's just a freshman at Santa Barbara. It's his first start at the junior college level, and every time you go up a level, it's a different world, and things move pretty fast.
Yep.
Hickson, Gerald Hickson, the sophomore from New York, and we see some movement up front and whistle it dead.
I think this is going to go against the Cougars. I think there was early movement there on a shift. There was a neutral zone infraction, but I don't know if the movement maybe came before that occurred. Some clarification on the call. I think that's exactly what this discussion is about here, Barry.
So Hickson didn't dress, and Nicholson has just not been able to do anything for Santa Barbara City tonight. Just 2 of 8 for 7 yards. Cougars we'll see what the call is here for Max Hernandez.
False start.
The Cougar defense holding Santa Barbara City to 40 total yards this first half.
Well, you like to see that. Exactly what the doctor ordered here for the Cougars. Got to keep it up, though. A lot of football yet to be played. 4:38 to go in the second quarter.
So now 1st and 15 at their own 19 for College of the Canyons. Empty set. Puts a man in motion, and Brito sets the bubble screen left side. He's got Wiggins, and Wiggins makes a nifty move. Still on his feet. He's got the first down and then some. Is he still in? And he's all the way down to the Vaquero 30-yard line. And, boy, talk about your tightrope walk there.
51 yards on the.
Tim Wiggins, the Valencia High School Viking. Watch how close he gets to this. Hits the bubble, makes a man miss right there. And then it looks like he's going to go down. Picks up speed, breaks another tackle, and then finally take it down to the 30.
Shoelace tackle.
Do have a timeout on the field. I think Santa Barbara City talking things over. They want to make sure this thing doesn't get ugly, and it's turning out to be that way. Let's talk about this schedule and how it stacks up for the Cougars. Going well with Santa Barbara. Next week, traveling down to Cerritos. It's a 6. What do we expect there?
Well, Cerritos is always a tough squad. You know, they pull their talent from a very talent-rich area, North Orange County, sometimes from the IE, but there's always something up the sleeve of Cerritos. Cerritos just seems to always be in the thick of it, and not a team that you can take lightly if you're COC.
Our next home broadcast, a team that is having a very good year so far. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Play action. Burrito rolling to his right, picks up a block in the corner, looks downfield, has a man. That's Pierce again, and Pierce is going to run to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. 30 yards to Brandon Pierce. And the Cougars extend their lead, and watch this as he picks up a block there. Brito rolling to his right and then finds a man, and once that whole defense just over pursues that right side and running to his left. That's a 30-yard, but he ran about 50 yards.
And going, and Brandon Pierce to the house.
Tanner Brown on to attempt his 4th point after tonight. He's been perfect on the season. Kick is up, and it is good. So 4:12 left in the first half. The Cougars extend their lead 28-0 over the Vaqueros from Santa Barbara City. But again, 2 weeks from tonight, our live broadcast against Golden West. Golden West, a team that's maybe.
Nick Mitchell always gets it done. He really knows how to recruit. He really knows how to coach them up. They gave Fullerton all they could handle and then some in week 1, eventually succumbing to the defending national champs. But San Diego Mesa opening some eyes last week versus Golden West, but that's a team that another team on your schedule that you can't take lightly. The Rustlers, Rashawn Haylock, shout out to him, play-by-play man for Sportsnet USA.
We get into the conference play, starting off with Moore Park on the Thursday night game. East LA, Ventura, the one that everybody's circling, and the one that Coach Asena wants to make sure the kids aren't looking ahead to. And then traveling down to Long Beach City and finally wrapping things up here at Cougar Stadium on the 10th of November against Bakersfield. Return out. But, what is that conference? What do we know? Of course, week 3, real early to tell. But what does that Northern Conference stack up? Obviously, most people are picking, it's Ventura and COC. Is that what it's going to come down to?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's going to come down to. Ventura nearly coughing one up today. They started off 2-0 as well. They go up to Hancock, and they win a nail-biter 29-8. That's a game where they were up 22-7, and they had to really dig deep in that one.
Nicholson completes the pass across the 30, tuned down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I want to say that's only the second or third first down of this ball game for Santa Barbara, but they'll take it. 3:56 remaining in the second quarter.
It actually is the 3rd first down.
I have my moments.
Still, that's a long half. So 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line for Santa Barbara City, 3:40 and counting. Play action under pressure, and he's going to break the tackle, go to the outside, and Nicholson's finally going to get dropped down at the 30-yard line.
It looked like Brian Barrera, first man there, and that's a terrific job by Barrera in pursuit. Nicholson, not an easy player to catch up to, and Nicholson really good with his feet, and I really like the way that he sells play action, but I think they always know that he's not giving it up. Just really nothing doing there, and the defense is really starting to clamp down on the Cougar side.
Good to see local product, Barrera from a Grizzly from Golden Valley, getting some playing time here in the first half. Nicholson finds his man out of the backfield and hit hard. Wow,
big collision.
On the far sideline.
Yeah, it looked like Walker on the reception and the big hit. See the replay here.
And
big hit put on by Antonio Hunt.
So it sets up 3rd and 11 now. Clock stopped with 2:58 left in the first half. Cougars have dominated this game so far. Nicholson again under pressure, and he's going to come to the near sideline and find a receiver in and out of the hands. I think that was Gropper again.
I believe you were right.
Gropper, the big kid, his first start, 6'5", 200 pounds, first start, and has had 2 passes thrown towards him and is not able to grab either of them. And the 4th down brings on our very close and dear friend, Mr. Ogliotti, with his 6th punt of the night.
Yeah, we're getting to know him pretty well.
And the lefty gets a high one, but again, it's short. Pierce sending everybody away, and Pierce is going to take it. And, it's that turf, that all-purpose turf, is the punter's best friend there. Don't forget Salt Creek Grill, a fine dining experience in the mall, proud sponsor of Cougar football, and the best Sunday brunch in town. It is literally irrefutable. And if you don't believe me, you got to go try it out. Our friends at AV Equipment Rental on Railroad. And, of course, Consumers Furniture. Just down the hill from Sam's Club, the largest leather furniture gallery in all of Santa Clarita, and a huge mattress gallery. You've got a full line of power motion recliners, and I don't know if you've seen these things, Mike, but they literally envelop you. And you're supposed to watch football, and then I just, kind of like me, would just sleep for crying out loud. But it is amazing that what they have these days. That's all Consumers Furniture.
Give me a coffee drip.
Yeah, there you go. Brito back in, the handoff straight up the middle. A lot of room there.
That's a great
up
counter.
Across the 40, and finally went down at the 41-yard line.
Let's watch the execution here on the counter by Dunn.
Look at the speed by Dunn. I know, yeah, it's open there.
Well, he's going north and south. You know, a little misdirection there. The counter comes through up the middle, finds the hole, and he's right through it. No indecision whatsoever.
11 yards on the pickup. Back to Dunn up the middle. He's going to get hit the line of scrimmage and drop there. So not fooled that time. 2nd and 10. Clock continuing to run. Just over 2 minutes left here in the first half. Back to pass. Brito going deep. Got a man at the 10-yard line and dropped down to the 9, and that was
Jaron
Pierce again. And again, Jaron Pierce is 11, Brandon Pierce is 9. They both went down.
Great adjustment on that football by Pierce. Catches it in traffic with a big play and
what do you say
hollering
about
at the gods?
What do you say about Brito? I mean, that just dropped in there. That's money right there.
Well, that's dropping it in the breadbasket under duress. He's hit as he throws. Doesn't matter.
248 yards so far in the first half, 3 touchdowns, 15 of 21 for Andrew Brito.
Yeah, really making a case for SCFA Player of the Week offensively. 368 yards and 3 touchdowns a week ago at Grossmark. And he is adding to his lofty season goal.
1.5 left here in the first half. Cougars trying to add to their 28-point lead. Brito rollers right, gets a pick up the block from Dunn. Looking in the end zone, touchdown Cougars. And that was Pierce again, Jaron Pierce with the touchdown. And that is the 4th touchdown pass of the night for Andrew Brito, and it's starting to look too easy. Look at the block right there by Dunn on the corner. Silver Pierce that long in the end zone. I mean, that's 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's essentially pitch and catch, and you know, hey, you get the big play from Jaron Pierce. Why not have him finish it off? And he does just that.
Puts Brito over the 300-yard mark. 17 of 23, 308, 4 touchdowns. The hold by Dabashi Brown with a kick. It's good. So 1:22 left in the first half. Cougars 35-0 over Santa Barbara City. Oh yeah. Chick-fil-A.
You know, I was in the mood for a shake, and, you know, we got this graphic a little late, but that's okay. We're going to get it done. Chick-fil-A, another proud sponsor of this Cougar program. And
so tell me about the shake. Why you don't get me started? I mean, are you going to get a shake on the way out here?
On the way out, we got a halftime coming up here, bud.
Yeah, can we run over there? Here's the thing. Chick-fil-A is now open till 11 o'clock. You know, I actually, Tom Williams, who's the owner, is an awesome guy. He's been involved in local sports and charities and everything. And he actually, I've been telling him, you've got to be open after 10 because all the people from the high school football games, and I want to go. I want Chick-fil-A, right? So they finally are open now till 11 o'clock. Of course, Monday through Saturday, every night open till 11 p.m. So that's a little bit of an inside scoop there.
I like that.
That is very good. That's the best news I think I had when they started that about 3 weeks ago. Best news of the summer, Chick-fil-A.
If anything, Barry, you have proven to be very thorough.
Hey, when I want something, at the goal line, drops it. Out to the 5th, puts his head down. Wow, it was a big hit by the returner.
Yeah, Patrick Dill taking out the Santa Barbara frustrations on the nearest yellow jersey.
Again, these yellow jerseys, and it's
Riley Herrera.
First time the Cougars have worn all yellow, and they had to get special approval for the all yellow. Also had to get special approval. They do not say Cougars on the front. They say "This I Promise," which is the mantra of the Cougar football program.
Yeah, we'll play that for you at halftime. Just a terrific spot, edited by Mike Nahar. Jesse Munoz putting that together.
Nicholson now scrambling to his right, fakes the throw, and now he actually does throw, and he has a man there. Oh, and a big hit, incomplete, and that's going to be
Whitehead, I believe, was the intended target. And, you know, I don't like that call one bit here, Barry, because, you know, that's a defensive back just really trying to make a play on the ball. And
he's trying to knock the ball loose.
He's trying to separate the ball from the receiver or the intended target. Now, the ball was dropped, but, you know, that's a player that's all protected. He leads with the shoulder, doesn't lead with the helmet.
Yeah, there's no helmet. It wouldn't be targeting. It'd just be called a defenseless receiver. You think that'd be just unnecessary roughness at worst. And was, in fact, Brennan Williams, the 5'11", 170-pounder out of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, you know, defensive receiver, you know, that's somebody going north and south. I thought the defensive flag came from the side here, so I don't really know if that should be a penalty that should be picked up. Nope.
And yes, they're going to call the personal foul. They don't call the targeting, so there is no ejection because there was no contact to the head or leading with the head. But they're saying it was the defenseless receiver. So the 15-yarder brings it up to the 30-yard line.
Well, it's a tough call that goes against the Cougars, but you know, with all of the concern over head injuries and player safety, in terms of the letter of the law and letter of the rule, the correct call.
And it was one of those bam plays because it was quick, but it looked like on the replay that the ball was already out of the hands of the receiver. So 1st and 10 for Santa Barbara City at their own 30. Throw to the near side, and not quite sure who that was.
Yeah, it was intended for Walker,
and
Walker wasn't turning around, was not expecting the football, and unfortunately Nicholson was under duress, and I think that's just a read between him and Walker. Walker not starting at running back tonight, and you wonder if maybe the lack of continuity there played into that incompletion.
So Jeremiah Nicholson, 4 of 11 for 23 yards. The total Santa Barbara team came into this game with 162 yards through the air in the first 2 games. Back to pass, throw right side, in and out of the hands. That again, trying to see is that Walker or
No, it's Logan Hughes, the intended target, coming to the outside, and Hughes unable to reel that one in. Tough throw from Nicholson. Didn't exactly set up his receiver as intended target for success, and it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
So after the 2 incompletions, we'll
check that
third, yeah. So 54 seconds left in this first half, dominated by the Cougars. Nicholson takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, and finally caught after it was bobbled a couple times. That was Tilson, R.J. Tilson, the wide receiver, the freshman. And it's well short of a first down, just a 3-yard pickup.
Some of these throws are a little bit off the mark, but, you know, the receiver's not really doing Nicholson any favors. No. They got to get something going. You got to be more reliable with your hands. You know, you're assigned the receiver position for a reason. Catch the football.
So the 4th and 7, and with 20 seconds left on the clock, looks like Santa Barbara City is going to run this thing down, and they're probably would go for it with just one play here, but they don't want to give the ball back to the Cougars with any time on the clock. So it looks like they'll blow the whistle with 4 seconds left, so it'll be a timeout Santa Barbara.
Well, you know, for College of the Canyons, this is, at this point, you're looking at style points. You need to do exactly what a team like Fullerton did to Santa Ana, 80+ in their win over the Dons there. And, you know, it's unfortunate Santa Barbara just comes in here completely outmanned, and COC are looking to really put their stamp on 2018. They want to let everybody know that we're a team to be reckoned with, and, well, coming in 2-0 and looking to make it 3-0. Barring some type of miracle from Santa Barbara.
And Citrus last week, 73-0 over Compton.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for position in terms of ranking. You know, a victory, a good victory like this, should it end like this, you know, it speaks volumes. You're doing exactly what you need to do.
And can you oversay that? 0 means a lot. I mean, at 35-0 or whatever, that shutout means a lot. Ogliati is going to kick this one away, and they're going to let it bounce, and the first half clock is going to expire. So 35-0 is your halftime score, and it is all Andrew Brito and all Cougars, as Andrew Brito in that first half with 4 touchdowns. And the Cougars go to halftime 35-0. And, I think in the second half, we'll get a very good opportunity to see a lot of players that we may have not seen so far and them to get some good reps. So stay tuned. Second half coming up from Cougar Stadium at College of the Canyons. 35-0 Cougars over Santa Barbara City.
I give all those signs. I never give up. I never give up. And if I do, I give them those I believe in. I give them those I believe in. When the Cougar next me is down, I'll pick him up. I'll pick him up. And he the same. I never give up. I never give up. I believe in the cause. I believe in the cause. I'll fight to the end. I'll fight to the end. And we will win. This I promise. This I promise. COC.
We're looking for young men who are selfless, who want to be great teammates as well as great players. Our strength and conditioning program is second to none. I would place what we do in the off-season up against any off-season program at any level. Our goal is to move these student athletes on, but have them excel when they get to where they're going. Success here at College of the Canyons, and you have to have the student athletes that aren't afraid of competition in order to achieve that. For football players, this is a program for engineers, future lawyers, doctors. We're very excited about the history of College of the Canyons. We've sent players to every major conference in the country, participate in the NFL, but we're even more excited about the future.
Week 3 SCFA football live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. College of the Canyons hosting Santa Barbara. We're at the half, 35-0 Old Cougars. Second half coming up in about 15 minutes here on SoCal College Sports.
I give him all the sun. I give him all the sun. I never give up. I never give up. And if I do, I'll pick him up. I'll pick him up. And he said, I never give up. I never give up. I believe in the cause. I believe in the cause. I'll fight to the end. We will win. And we will win. This I promise. This I promise. COC.
We're looking for young men who are selfless, who want to be great teammates as well as great players. Our strength and conditioning program is second to none. I would place what we do in the program at any level. Our goal is to move these student athletes on, but have them excel when they get to where they're going. To our success here at College of the Canyons, and you have to have the student athletes that aren't afraid of competition. It's not just a program for football players. This is a program for engineers, future lawyers, doctors, teachers, etc. They can achieve here. We're players to every major conference in the country, all the mid-majors. We've had Cougars participate in the NFL, but we're even more excited about the future.
Back at Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons, moments away from kickoff in the second half. On SoCalCollegeSports.com, I'm Barry McKeever along with Mike Zepeda. and it's been all Cougars in the first half, 35-0.
Yeah, you look at some of the stats here. Andrew Brito, well, in mid-season form, after one quarter only had 87 yards. At the half, he has 308. Last week, in the game versus Grossmont, 368, 3 touchdowns. He has 4 touchdowns, and as we just mentioned, 308 yards in the first half. It was Jaron Pierce, six catches for 112 yards, leading the way in the receiving corps for the Cougars, and that touchdown. Demarius August also with a nice first half, 6 catches for 88 yards and a touch.
Yeah, it's funny. The longest play is that Jaron Pierce, but behind that, Tim Wiggins had the stumble up the tightrope, had the 1 catch for 51 yards. Brandon Pierce with 2 touchdowns. On the ground, the Cougars getting it done as well, though. Miles Anderson leading all rushers with 40 yards on 3 attempts. He had that nice 31-yarder. Caden Dunn with 4 carries, 35 yards. And Brito with 6 carries of his own for 28. We even saw McFadden in there for the first time this year at 8 yards on 2 carries. And Kenny Torrance getting some playing time. Have a feeling we're going to be calling more of those guys' names. Torrance, McFadden, and Anderson. We're going to see them and running back, and probably a little bit more on the ground as well.
Yeah, and at what point do you maybe think about seeing what you have at quarterback in terms of your reserves? I expect Andrew Brito to not finish this ball game, but right. I could be wrong.
No, I think there's really no reason to at this point. You run him a series or 2 and just kind of get him some looks and some numbers up there. But you would think Wyatt Egot would come in, the sophomore quarterback out of West Ranch High School. So probably maybe even Wilson a little bit later, but more than likely Egot. Our sponsors at COC Cougar Football. Of course, Salt Creek Grill in the Valencia Town Center. Best Sunday brunch in town, and they have incredible catering for your next event. Make sure you check out Salt Creek Grill. AV Equipment Rental located for both contractors and homeowners. Any size tool to do the job right. Chick-fil-A, Valencia Town Center, now open till 11 o'clock, Monday through Saturday. And of course, Consumers Furniture. Consumers Furniture, the largest voted best furniture store in the entire Santa Cruz Valley for, I think it's 7 years in a row now. And Greg Moser and his family, 40 years they've been around in Santa Clarita and serving local residents. So check them out just down the hill from Sam's Club. So, Mike, the story of the second half is probably going to be what kind of faces are we going to see, who's coming in off the bench, and there's a lot of yellow jerseys that are going to be getting some playing time, and you empty your bench, you let the guys have fun here, but I think the biggest thing is, and you don't even want to say it, but the biggest thing you just want to avoid, any type of injury, and sometimes that happens in these games late.
Yeah, sometimes when you just kind of let your guard down, you're going at half speed and you're going through the motions, that's when the injuries are going to happen, and obviously, you hate to have to bring up that point, but it's a valid one. So you're exactly right. You have to keep on playing hard and giving your all, and it's an opportunity, as we said, for the second and third stringers, fourth stringers to come in, give themselves an opportunity to earn some snaps as the 2018 season rolls along. 2-0 on this young season. Are the Cougars looking to go 3-0? Looking pretty good right now. A couple minutes away from the start of quarter number 3. You're watching SCFA Football Week 3 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. underway here in the third quarter. Some scores from around the SCFA. Cerritos, who Cougars will play next week. They're in the first quarter playing College of the Desert. They're up 14-10 to San Diego Mesa. No score. Start of the third quarter. Citrus and Palomar duking it out. Bakersfield on top of Santa Monica 28-0. San Bernardino Valley neck and neck just a little while ago. Now in the SCFA, Chaffee still on top of Mount Sac 7-0. Saddleback on top of Pasadena City 16-14. Of course, right here 35-0. Canyons on top of Santa Barbara. Long Beach still at the half versus LA Valley 24-7 and 29-28 earlier today. Allen Hancock going down.
Likely that two teams will be 3-0 next week. That game at Cerritos involving the Cougars and Cerritos.
Somebody's O is going to go in that one.
Yes, definitely.
Should those scores hold?
Definitely.
In terms of the result, anyway.
So the Cougars are set to receive the kickoff in the second half, and the first time we've seen Santa Barbara's kick unit taken at the goal line and bringing it out. 30 breaks the tackle. They're still on his feet. Cut back at the 45. Midfield got some blockers in front of him. Has a chance. Got to get out of it. He dropped the ball. The ball is still loose, and it's still a scrum for it. No idea. August not happy. Santa Barbara thinks they have it, but
no indication yet.
It's about a 73-yard run back, and they're calling it Cougar ball.
Wow.
So everybody got up, and they're still talking about it. But
you just have to do a better job if you're Demarius August and holding on to the football there. And luckily, he gets away with it at the 19-yard line of Santa Barbara.
So the Cougars working with a very short field here. Just underway here. Opening drive of the second half. Cougars up 35-0. Andrew Brito 308 yards through the air in the first half. He's going to start the second half with Anderson is going to be the running back to his left. And the tight end to the right. And off to Anderson trying the right side, wants the corner, and he's going to go down for a loss all the way back to the 24-yard line.
Great effort there by Olgati. We've seen a lot of him tonight in the kicking game.
I was going to say his leg's tired from kicking.
Didn't look very tired there. Looked very solid getting to the outside.
So 2nd and 15 after the 5-yard loss. Anderson stays in there. They keep the tight end into the right side, same formation. Quick throw, left side. Catch is made by Pierce, and Pierce cuts back at the 20, inside the 15, near the 12-yard line.
Yeah, you wonder if it's maybe the competition, but, you know, in our sample size here, the receivers here for COC, very difficult to bring down.
Well, we talked about it before the game. Between DeShazer and August, the split ends, the two slots of Pierce and Pierce, no relation. Just so much speed and so much agility.
Yeah, the quote from Brito was not related by blood, but related by game.
There you go. Vandenberg still in there, tight end, straight up the middle, down to the 1-yard line is Anderson. And talked about him, and he's got speed and he's got the size. That's not a train you want to get in front of.
No, he's doing his best Christian Okoye imitation there. And good luck against that guy. That's a pretty good, clean tackle there to get him down to about the 1.
I don't know if you saw that DB come over there. That was Gale, but as soon as he got tackled, he touched his helmet and said, I'm out. So 1st and goal at the 1 for the Cougars. Pistol formation, and Anderson gets the carry and the easy touchdown. So it took less than 2 minutes, and Anderson.
They just go right back to the well, and Anderson, it's short one from 19 yards out after the big return there from Demarius August.
So Tanner Brown on to attempt the point after. Again, he's been perfect all season long at both field goals and point after. He had a field goal almost attempt, but the high snap wasn't able to get it down, and this one is up, and it is good. So 13:04 left in the third quarter. 19-yard drive, and easy as pie for the Cougars. They go up 42-0. You know what? Would be great right now? One of the
Salt Creek Grill, do they have pies?
No, they don't have pie. I don't know. You know what they?
I thought that's what you were going for.
No,
with the segue.
no, not pies. They're way beyond the pies, dude. They've got some amazing desserts. So they're all fresh made, handmade. The whole. They've got the twirly stuff coming out of everything. I was going to tell you right now.
You know what we need? We need a graphic of one of their desserts. You know, when things are going really well.
We just put it up.
We just put it up.
I think I may have one.
Maybe that'll be. We'll make like a touchdown graphic of a dessert from Salt Creek
Let's
Grill.
do it. Give me a couple minutes. You talk for the next 5 minutes. I'll find one for you.
We'll see what I can do.
But this Salt Creek Grill, best Sunday brunch in town. And you do mention desserts, but I was going to say their burgers are so underrated. And on Tuesdays, they're only like $10 or something. And they're just so stinking good, man. The blue cheeseburger. Anyway, there's football.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a break here. Talking about burgers and pies and desserts.
Bringing out of the end zone and brought down to the 17-yard line in the kickoff coverage. And, Mike, it's an opportunity to talk about the kickoff. And, I like to get people's – that was R.J. Tolson on the return. But, we're kind of seeing this. We're seeing in college that a fair catch inside the 25 immediately goes out to 25. They're making a lot of these safety rules. Are we seeing the kickoff play and the kickoff return? Is that something that in the next couple of years is not people are even talking about possibly not even having a kickoff anymore?
Yeah, where you just start drives.
Just start at the 25.
At the 25, and it definitely would provide a new dynamic. I don't know if there's any value in terms of player safety, and people talking about player safety. They have to worry about it play in and play out offensively and defensively. Then you add the special teams. There's some players in the NFL that just won't play special teams, won't play kickoffs because they don't want to get hurt, and they have it written into their contracts that they won't play on special teams. And it's unfortunate, but the numbers speak for themselves in terms of injuries sustained during kickoffs and punt returns. So I think you're exactly right when you kind of allude to it. Are they trying to legislate it out of the game? It's unfortunate, but it looks like that's the direction we're headed.
Hardest hit I ever took was a back wedge when I was a back wedge. That was the worst position ever. Under pressure, Nicholson gets rid of it right as he gets hit, coming off of the corner.
Yeah, big.
From his outside backer spot. I think that, is that Vuka Bradovic?
No, I think it's Charles Ike. I could be wrong here. Oh, hey, we have a replay. Let's use it.
It was. It was Vuk, I think, coming off the left edge. There's Ike 36. Safety spot.
Yep. Good eye there, Barry.
Darius Vuka-Bradovic, the older of the two, 5'11", 185-pounder, both out of Grace Brethren. Nicholson under pressure is going to go down, and the Cougars going to force another punt here. This time, Tariq Spates also in there. I think that was Gio Ramirez. Watch Spates coming up the right side right there. Makes that move back to the left. Meets you at the quarter.
That had a very similar move, an inside move to create some pressure. That time he gets to the pressure, resulting in a sack for the Cougars. Another one. And the onslaught continues here for the Cougars. 11:39.
With the wobbly kick. Bouncing at the Santa Barbara 40-yard line, and it's going to take a Cougar bounce inside the 40 near the 39-yard line, and they'll see where they mark it there. But, again, another short field to work with here. And you see here, which is worst nightmare. They go, why are you even near the ball? So they do mark it right at the 40-yard line. It'd be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Keep an eye on Burrito, see if he's still in there. And I think actually we're seeing Egett.
Yep.
Handoff straight up the middle. That is McFadden, and it is, in fact, Wyatt Egett, the sophomore out of West Ranch High School, 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore. So you can close the book on Andrew Burrito, 18 of 24, 324 yards and 4 touchdowns, and up 42-0 with 11 minutes left in the third. Really no point in playing him at this point.
No.
Plus, you never know when you have to use Egett. You never know what's going to happen this season. And, man, there's a strike right up across the 30. First down to the 20-yard line.
That's just pitch and catch there. No
late flag coming in there.
Yeah, probably a little extracurricular on the outside.
I think that was Dobashi on making the catch. So the ball's at the 20. And It's going to be a hold. They're going to call downfield hold on the Cougars. So this one's coming back.
Mount San Jacinto now 3-0 on this young season with a win over Grossmont earlier today. We talked about it. Ventura and a nail-biter 29-28 over Allen Hancock. 54-24. It's a final. Long Beach on top of LA Valley. You talk about a team that can put up points in a hurry. It looks like Long Beach is a player here in 2018. 42-0 here. 16-14 still at the half between Saddleback and Pasadena. 7-0 at the half. Chaffee on top of Mount Sac. 38-0 ELAC over Compton. Started the third quarter, 56-28 Riverside all over San Bernardino Valley. And at the half, Bakersfield on top of Santa Monica, 42-0.
Again, they hand off to McFadden, straight up the middle, stuffed at the line of scrimmage, may have gotten down to the 19 or check at the 29, and that's about it. But the earlier holding was a for spot foul, so it was enough for the first down after moving it back 10 yards to the 30. So right here we're at 2nd and 9 for the Cougars.
Terrell Stanley, big tight end, freshman from Encino, will come into the ball game. I think this will be one of his few snaps.
Scruggs coming into your side.
Yep.
So again, seeing a lot of players here, and if we pause a little bit, we're gonna have to look. We have to look down at our roster as well. Eget, hand off to McFadden, breaks a tackle at the line, still on his feet, and barrels forward inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. It'll be 4 yards shy of the first. Third down.
It's a really nice run there from McFadden. A good linebacker momentarily. McFadden makes a play, stays on his feet, picks up a couple extra yards.
McFadden, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a load to bring down. Now the play action throw to the far sideline, enough for the first down to the 25, 10, 5. Near the goal line, but just shy. That's the first catch we've seen tonight. Henderson.
Alonzo, 5'10", sophomore out of Reseda. And hitting his man in stride was Eget.
Product of Cleveland High School. Down in the city section, a strike right there. Nice move there by Henderson. And Henderson at the 1 and quickly to the ball, and dropped in the backfield is McFadden. So 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line, loss of 2. Wyatt Eget's brother is the starting quarterback at his alma mater at West Ranch, and I think they won like 56-0 last night. But West Ranch, the high school, they're undefeated, 5-0. Eget's going to keep it himself, and it didn't fool anybody, especially on the right side there. And
Logan Hughes all over it. 6-foot freshman out of Simi Valley. It's a good read.
So the loss back to the 8-yard line. Will be 3rd and goal. Looked like there, if he had an opportunity to give it to McFadden did have some room on that left side. So 3rd and goal for Eget, and takes the snap. We do have some movement, and the flag is down, and the catch at the goal line. It looks like he's going to be just shy of the first down. That is Stanley, his first catch of the night. Terrell Stanley out of Crespi, the 6'4".
Yeah, it's going to be a free play here, and they're going to take the 5.
So
instead of the completion.
Yeah, it would be 4th and goal inside the 1. They're coming to the near sideline to talk to Coach Iacenti. He said, where's it going to put it? And should put it right about the 3-yard line and be 3rd and goal there. Oh. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so they're gonna take the play, 4th down inside the 1. They're at about the 6-inch line, and they're gonna go power package.
Yeah, KJ Latu coming in, the linebacker. He'll line up in that fullback spot with McFadden behind him. So McFadden, the deep man. Latu is the up man.
Yeah, bit of an offset eye here.
Right side to McFadden, and he dives in easy. And another touchdown for the Cougars. McFadden made this look way too easy. They line up Latu on the left side, and look at Latu with that block, and didn't really even need to hit anybody.
Yeah, I think they were reading, and that really opened it up on that left edge for McFadden. He's in for an easy score.
So Brown coming on to kick the point after. 7:45 left in the third. And the kick is up and it is good. You can hear this, the crowd, actually pretty good crowd on hand tonight for the home opener at Cougar Stadium.
Yeah.
So 49-0, 7:45 left in the third.
You're watching SCFA football here on SoCal College Sports. Back in a moment.
So we talked about Ogliati's left leg tired from punting. Tanner Brown's right leg must be tired from kicking off.
Well, he's get some reps. That's for sure.
So the kick by Brown is a high one, taken back at the 5-yard line. Up across the 20 and down to the 22-yard line. That's Tolson again. So 1st and 10. These are, Mike, these are the struggle when you're an announcer in a game like this. You start to talk about your family, your vacation. We start to talk about other things. But
you had your family up here in the booth at the halftime.
We did. It was really neat.
Them.
Yeah, we saw Maggie, my 2.5-year-old. She's bigger than that. And then Clara, and you saw Maverick. He's playing at Hardham. My wife Jenny. It's always good to have your family around. They always follow and listen. And so cute that my. Trying the left side up and across the 30 near the first down. But it's so cute because when my daughter hears me, either, if we're on the radio or online, she always says, "That's my dad."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, now I have a 19-month-old, 20 months tomorrow.
Very cool.
Not exactly articulating to that degree yet, but hopefully, we'll have the same response.
Boy, girl?
Boy.
Oh, nice.
And then
Is that your first?
My first, and then our second coming in February.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And then Owen and Oliver joining us.
Oh, so
February.
A boy as well? You've cheated.
Well.
You looked?
We were required, yeah. He wasn't shy in the ultrasound. 6:57 to go here in the third quarter. It's been all Cougars from the get. Started off a little sloppy, but they've really shored things up, and they're really just priming the engine.
Yeah, and Burrito looking good again. 18 of 24, the final numbers for him. 324 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wyatt Egan even looked good. 2 of 2 for 30 on his 2 drives. Play action for Nicholson. Near side for Whitehead. Nothing going. Good defense by the Cougars.
Terrific timing.
And now we've got late flag coming in. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. Not a flag. My bad.
There was a lot of yellow there on the field.
There was yellow, yeah. It was Collier. And, that's the thing with the Cougars that they haven't had in the years past is they've, Coach Isena has the top level, but he's 2-3 deep in that quarterback spot. He's got some linebackers, the backup and third string that we talked about how deep that defensive line is. This defense is really, really deep. Right side enough for the first down, but he talks about he's got 5 cornerbacks that that could easily be starting. He said this is the best group he's ever had in the cornerback position.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to see a lot of coverage sacks this season, I'm sure, for the Cougars. It's only going to make the defensive line look that much better. And when you can start putting together zeros on the board, you're going to get some notice nationwide here, and obviously a big part of why we do what we do here at SoCalCollegeSports.com is to provide exposure to these young athletes. And COC, I got to tell you, a lot of talent out here and some bright futures for the Cougar faithful.
Clifton Taylor on the run for Santa Barbara City, and Mike, this as well as anybody that when you have a program that talent begets talent. When the talented players want to play with more talent. So, you get that when you get a wave of good players that the Cougars have had over the last 3-4 years. Now you're reaping those rewards because a lot of people want to come play.
And let's be frank here. It's not just about accumulating talent. It's about cultivating and harnessing that talent and really coaching them up. And Coach Ayasenda, we've played that commercial throughout. He does a fantastic job of really just growing these players, football players, student athletes, and getting them to 4-year universities.
False start moves them back 5, and then the quick play action, the throw incomplete. So it sets up 3rd down. And one thing that you heard in that when you talked with Coach Ayasenda, that he, they practice what he preaches, but it's not about just bringing in football players. He brings in young men, and his goal is that the young men come out of this program better for being in this program, and not just on the football side. Yeah. And he makes sure that they go to tutoring, they go to classes, and it's not just it's not just about football, and that's hugely important. Nicholson tries to set up the screen, and nothing going there. Had blockers in front of him, but he couldn't hit him. So incomplete pass, and we see our friend Ogliati going to come kick it away.
Well, we got some shout-outs here on the feed here on YouTube. Daryl August telling his boy Demarius August to hold on to the ball. He had that fumble to open the second half, but getting some looks, I'm sure, from remotely. And everybody, feel free to let everybody know about this broadcast.
High snap, bobbled it. Oh, it gets kicked, and now the ball is still loose. And finally it goes down. The Cougars will take over there, but I don't know if I've seen that. I think Ogliati was just trying to kick it off the ground, playing a Garo Premium. Actually, that wasn't Ogliati. That was actually Ahlstrom.
Yep.
Yeah, Martin Ahlstrom from Sweden. So he's doing some soccer moves there for Ahlstrom. He didn't want.
Might have to bicycle kick that one.
He goes, I came here to kick. I didn't come here to actually have any contact with anybody. But, you mentioned Damaris August. The thing about that, yes, he needs to hold on to the ball, but it also shows the incredible threat that he is going to be in the return game on kickoffs. So 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 28 of Santa Barbara City. Inside handoff to the left side, and that is Kenny Torrance.
I got to tell you here, Barry, these backs look very hungry. I mean, they just look fresh. They look explosive. What a luxury, what an embarrassment of riches at really multiple positions, but especially running back, to see this type of burst in big-bodied backs that are tough to bring down.
Yeah, so you're talking about just body after body, and Eagle's going to take it himself, and he stumbles at the 20-yard line, and he's going to get the 1st down, but had some more room up there. But, the thing about these running backs is they've all got really good size, and Dunn is the smallest at 200 pounds.
Maybe the most talented. His vision is obviously above average. His burst and his ability to get to the hole and burst through it.
And it's great to see Kenny Torrance back after that injury out of Stockdale High School from Bakersfield. And they hand off to Torrance, tries the right side. He puts his head down. He's going to get stopped after a yard or two. .318 and counting left here in the 3rd. Again, want to thank some of our sponsors at Cougar Football for helping us out and providing us AV Equipment Rentals on Railroad Avenue. Get the right tool to do the job right. AV Equipment Rental also has propane for your barbecue, no minimum quantities to buy. And off to Torrance, and he barrels down inside the 15 to the 13. He's going to be about 5 yards shy of a first. 3rd and 5 there. And Amari Smith is going to get a chance to come in as well. Smith out of Silesian High School down in the city section, 5'8", 160-pound sophomore.
Barry, you keep on talking about this Salt Creek Grill, and
yes,
I want brunch now.
You're going to have to wait till tomorrow, my friend. Egan's going to keep it himself up the middle, inside the 5, spinning into the end zone. It looked like he got there, and they're saying no.
They're going to down him at the 1. That's a terrific effort. Unfortunately, don't have the.
They put him at the 1. I mean, not that it's.
Yeah, I thought he was maybe on top of a defender.
That's what I thought. He was on top. He spun him around.
Yeah. but they're going to down him at the 1. Stay of execution
All right.
momentarily here for the defense of the Vaqueros.
So we won't file a protest over that one.
Daryl August watching from Orlando.
Bet it's hot there, huh? Humid?
I'd have to imagine.
Oh, that's an easy one. Torrance makes it easy, and Kenny Torrance gets his first touchdown of the season and pumps it in from 1 yard out, and the Cougars go up now 55-0, pending the point after.
Well, if you were rolling out all of the offensive players here tonight for COC in your SCFA fantasy football matchup, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, who'd you pick number 1 in your draft?
I don't know. I probably would have went with Brito, no doubt.
Debashi on to hold again for Brown, and Brown is perfect. 8 for 8. In fact, he only had 6 PATs coming in.
Wow.
So he's got 8 tonight. 56-0.
Make it 14 for the season.
You're listening, or I should say listening. You're watching, right? Well, you're listening to.
You're watching and listening.
SCFA. So the Cougars will kick it away again, 56-0, 1:58 left in the third. Brown with a high kick. Taken at the 5, across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Well, some news in NC2A football. Texas all over USC, 30-14. They're in the third, 3:25 left to go in that one.
What happened? What happened to the Trojans?
I don't know. I'm telling you, my wife's not happy right now. She went to SC.
Washington up on Utah, 14-7. The mighty Stanford Cardinal already beat UC Davis, the Aggies, in a payback game of when they beat them. What was it, 10 years ago or something? I don't know if you remember that, but it was not pretty. Nicholson with a handoff to the right side, and looks like that is Walker back in there, Tamir Walker, and Walker's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
You know, Barry, Walker Barbara, I think he's shown very well. Good hands out of the backfield, good burst. Tough matchup here tonight for him.
Yeah, really tough matchup.
That Ohio State 33-28 at the end of 3 over TCU.
Walker on the ground.
Oof.
And the incomplete pass, and Nicholson gets hammered right as he gets rid of it.
Yeah, it was Peoples again in on the pressure.
Ariane Peoples, and he spent more time in the backfield than Nicholson has, I think.
Yeah.
Nicholson, Jeremiah Nicholson, his first start. Welcome to JUCO football, my friend. 7 of 21, 39 yards. So 39 yards passing, 43 yards on the ground, 74 total yards, and the run up the middle is going to give him enough for the first down. But Cougar defense so holding this offense to under 100 yards total offense so far in this game, and we've got under a minute left in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're looking for a bagel here, and I think they're going to get it. I mean, a good trait of a championship team here, Barry, is not taking your foot off the gas.
Exactly.
Going for the jugular.
And Walker tries the middle. He's going to get a couple there, and it's actually harder than you would think. You would think, it's easy to blow out, but it's also very easy to cruise. When you're up 56-0, it's very
absolutely
easy to cruise. But I think the thing, again, that we talk about, this unit has the opportunity to be a special team here at College of the Canyons, and the thing is that they are so deep that you can't tell. It's like in the old days when Tom Osborne, was beating people 80-0. He said, "What do you want me to tell my third string running back that gets a chance to play that he's supposed to just lay down?" And that's what we're seeing tonight. So the end of the third, College of the Canyons over Santa Barbara City. Fourth and final quarter coming up next. You've got tuned to SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Fourth quarter set to start here. Again, 56-0 for the Cougars of College of the Canyons, your 6th-ranked team in the state, 4th-ranked team in Southern California.
With good reason.
Well, they're sure showing it tonight. Nicholson, the handoff to Walker, and he gets hit and dropped for a loss in the backfield. And I believe that was Latou.
Yeah, Latou, Madison Wheeler also in on the tackle, slowing things down, teeing it up for Latou.
5'11", 240 pounds out of Paraclete, and he is fast. I mean, 240 pounds, he moves that 240 pounds all of it really fast.
That's one of the reasons why, he comes in that heavy package as a running back, offensively and defensively.
1 yard loss sets up a 3rd and 11 for Santa Barbara City. They're just 2 of 13 on 3rd down, and Nicholson's going to go down. Not sure. I don't know if he was trying to extend it to look. He's going to be Stretch Armstrong there, get the extra 9 yards extending the ball. I don't know if that's really going to help. A 2-yard pickup, 4th and 9.
Maybe if his name is Inspector Gadget, but that is definitely not the case. Well, hey, let's cue things up. Let's get our thank yous out of the way here. Jesse Munoz, Sports Information Director here at College of the Canyons, really setting us up for success here this week and throughout the season. Chad Peters, the Athletic Director here at COC as well. Of course, Ted Eisen, the head coach for COC football. Great on that.
Well, thanks. That was just a few moments ago. We were supposed to, let people know.
I think people
the
caught on.
The magic of television.
That's true.
Yeah, so there was some sort of false start violation, and it'll go back 5 yards. And Amari Smith is actually into return for the first time tonight. And Ogliotti is going to use his left foot and get a big roll inside the 30, but we do have a flag down on the near side. Back with Ahlstrom and Ogliotti, and Ahlstrom kicked that last one. He dropped it, and then he kicked it on the ground. It's like the kid from Sweden says, send the linebacker in. I don't want to kick anymore.
Send the backer in. Let him announce his presence with authority.
So this is where it gets kind of extends it, where the flags. I mean, do you call a 5-yard penalty? I mean, you do. It's still rules, but it just extends the game.
If it's 50 plus in terms of the winning margin, you think they'd go running clock here?
You would think so. I'm assuming there is no running clock in junior college, right?
I don't believe so, but we talk about little tweaks here to rules, and this is going in the wrong direction if you're Santa Barbara, but talk about tweaks and rules and trying to help in terms of player safety. Touchdowns. Obviously one team is outmatched over the other. Why wouldn't you go to a running clock? Why wouldn't you short the amount of time that the players are out there?
So Egid with a handoff straight up the middle, and that is Forrest Carter. His first carry of the night, and you hear the crowd yelling run to Forrest. Run?
I was expecting a better reference there.
2-yard loss.
A better segue there.
Back to 31. Well, we kind of agreed not to use it. It's too obvious, so
I said bring it.
Okay.
We'll know for next week.
Egid with a Gets a yard. And see, this is the other tough thing. You want to see a guy, like Egan throw the ball, but also you're up 56 points. You don't want to just, you don't want to embarrass an opponent. So there's like this balance.
Yeah, well, at the same time, you throw the ball, you throw it incomplete, stops the clock. So why not just run it? And you're having success running the football,
So let's see what they do here. 3rd and 11 for the Cougars on their own 32-yard line. He gets straight drop back under pressure. Ball is tipped out the line and falls incomplete. So I'm trying to think, is this the second punt of the night or is this the first punt? But this is,
let's say the second punt.
I think it's the second punt. And they're actually going to bring in Logan Yamaoka, the backup punter kicker. Clock stopped with 12:19. Cougars head to Cerritos next Saturday. Then 2 weeks from tonight, we're back on the air on SoCalCollegeSports.com with the big game against Golden West. And that one gets a favorable Cougar bounce and big coverage by the Cougars.
That's just a bad idea. Is that
going
Whitehead?
Backwards.
No, Walker.
Antonio Hunt with the coverage, punt coverage tackle, and again, Cougars have pretty tonight.
Well, it's looking a lot like the blowout we saw earlier today, Fullerton over Santa Ana, 85-0. If memory serves, I believe that's a key to the city. That wasn't a key to the city game. That was the SWAT team at the front door to the city. 85-0, Fullerton, the defending national champs, over Santa Ana. El Camino big over LA Harbor, 49-24. Golden West 48-12 over West LA.
And again, Walker met right as he gets the ball in the backfield.
Mount San Jacinto 42-35 over Grossmont Ventura. By 1 over Allen Hancock. On the road 29-28. Long Beach big over LA Valley 54-24. 26 to zip. 321 Saddleback only with a 2-point lead over Pasadena City. Upset in the making there. Saddleback in danger of starting 2018 0-3.
That's quite a surprise.
Yeah, Saddleback usually a team that reloads pretty heavy, and one of the wins on the season for COC on the road at Saddleback. Now Saddleback transitioning to a new stadium, believe that's going to be ready in 2021. So sometimes that home field advantage that you're used to, maybe not there when you're playing on a high school field, but nevertheless, Saddleback struggling here early in the season.
So 3rd and long after the breakup by Rashawn Rowland. Nicholson under pressure gets hit and makes the completion at the tackle made on the play by the near side was Lujan, Antonio Lujan from Quartz Hill.
Looked like Morrison getting in on the pressure.
Yeah, Morrison just, was it Morrison or was it, I think it was Hills, right? The 48,
Actually, I think you might be right. Tovere Hills. Start of the 4, San Diego Mesa on top of LA Pierce on our other broadcast here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Cerritos now up by a touchdown there in the second quarter, 24-17 versus College of the Desert.
So Ogliati back in to kick it away and gets it away to Amari Smith, and he's going to let it bounce. And again, it's going to take in a flat kick and return it back. Oh, he's still on his feet, actually. Look at Smith now running backwards.
This is all for naught. This is just a really good calorie burn.
He went out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
His
but
penalty is going to go against Tajim Johnson Rahman with an illegal block.
TJ, as you mentioned, he is from Saugus, a former Centurion, local product as well.
I was a Centurion in high school.
Were you really?
Century Centurion. Santa Ana.
That's different. But it is always good to see when you have a community college have local players. You've got, obviously Spates and Ike and Tanner Brown from Saugus and TJ, and we see Barrera in there. And, you're not going to be able to feed a community college just from local talent, but to have, 20, 30% of your athletes from the local schools gives really gives the community a team to rally around. It's nice to see the local products step up and not just be on the team, but actually contribute and be a vital, integral part of this Cougar team.
A lot of talent here in California, that's for sure. And then, you have the imports, from out of state. You have family watching remotely, and glad to bring you coverage here. COC football in 2018, second year. And we've had the pleasure.
So Egan is going to take it himself, actually.
That's
I think
Michael
that's Wilson, isn't it? Yeah, Michael Wilson, his first shot out of Freedom High School, 92-pound freshman, and we saw the speed from Michael Wilson. Definitely a dual threat. And our first look at him in 2018.
I think we need an audio clip for Wilson. Something in the Castaway verbiage. Tom Hanks. Every time he goes for a big run.
The handoff straight up the middle, and this is back to Forrest Carter.
It's impressive. See, the play before that, Wilson goes for the big run. So you freeze the defense when you go to the RPO, and it opens it right up in the middle for a 5-yard gain on first down. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Inside 10 minutes left in the game. It's been all Cougars, as evidenced by the score. Andrew Brito over 300 yards passing tonight, 4 touchdowns.
Did we see him in the second half?
We saw him the first drive, the second half, yeah. So Michael Wilson directing the Cougar offense for the first time. And Ted Isenda taking a lot of time here. They're looking for some discrepancy on the near side by Xavier Hammond. He is the freshman out of Carrollton, Georgia. And they take the...
Sometimes when you're trying to get in some extra reps for some players, not everybody's going to be on the same page, and 5-yard penalty backing them up after the delay of game.
So, and Hammond, another one of those big receivers, 6'3", 215 pounds. Running the split on the near side. Wilson with a high snap is going to keep it himself. Right side, cuts it back. He's got up near the 45-yard line. He's going to be just about 4 yards shy of a first down. So they're going to call it 3rd and 4 at their own 44-yard line. Again, 2 weeks from tonight against Golden West. And did we get a score from Golden West? Are they 0-3?
I believe Golden West prevailed this evening.
Oh, good. Okay. But they had a rough first 2 weeks. Wilson completes the pass, and a cutback at the 30-yard line to the 20, and going into the end. That's Alonzel Henderson. And Michael Wilson's first, I believe that's his first attempt as a Cougar, and it goes for a touchdown.
That's a pretty good batting average. 1 pass, 1 touchdown, or 6.
And that's what we're talking about, Mike, is, you're talking second and third string. Wilson is a third-string quarterback, and you still got such athleticism at both a wide receiver spot and there at the quarterback, and that's even a backup kicker. So the point after is up, and it is good. That is Ryan Sinclair. Sinclair out of Canyon High School here in Santa Clarita, of course, and getting, again, everybody getting some playing time. And these are the fun ones. It's 63-0 with 8:21 left in the game, and you do have some compassion for the opposite side, and you know that if you play sports long enough, you're going to be on the other end of that. But for the Cougars, this is an opportunity for them to get these. This is valuable playing time for these kids.
Yeah, compassion for the opposing school, unless you're John Kreese. Movie reference. Karate Kid.
8 Men Out.
No, Karate Kid. Come on now. Sweep the leg.
Never saw it.
That's exactly what COC is doing right now.
Yeah.
63-0 in the fourth. 8:21 remaining. This one all but over. Cougars going to improve to 3-0 in 2018.
You almost put them at 8-0 there for a second.
Yeah.
You're being prophetic?
Maybe.
I know. So they're even resting Tanner Brown. He's going to sit on the sidelines, and Sinclair is going to kick this thing off. 8:21 left in the contest. All Cougars, 63-0.
48-12 Golden West, the winner earlier today over West LA. So
wow.
they finally get in the win column here in 2018.
Taken by Tolson, and Tolson's going to get wrapped up around the 22-yard line.
Nice tackle there by Brody Padilla.
Padilla out of Hawaii, Pearl City. You know, here's the thing, Mike, is if we talk enough about Salt Creek Grill, that means you got to go. I mean, they've got the bacon-wrapped filet, which is amazing. My favorite dish there is a dish called chicken roulade, and it is a chicken breast with inside of it is cheese, Gruyere cheese, and ham, bruschetta ham, and served on a bed of mashed potatoes with a lemon hollandaise kind of hot sauce.
What time they open till?
It's crazy. I don't know.
Are we gonna get
12.
Out of here in time?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get. Yeah, we'll definitely get it. Got live music, on weekends as well. Great place for live music, but catering, everything is soccer. But again, we've got you've got your option of Chick-fil-A open till 11 now.
What if I do both?
that actually wouldn't be the worst thing that ever happened in your life.
I'm sure it wouldn't be the first.
Wouldn't be the first person to do it.
No.
And they're not that far away. They're both in the Valencia Town Center.
I'll tell you what. I'll get a Chick-fil-A. I got a spicy deluxe with a chocolate shake, and then I'll go into Salt Creek Grill and compare and contrast.
Okay, spicy deluxe is my sandwich too, dude. No pickle, of course.
Extra pickles.
No pickles. Jacob Villarreal with his first look into the game for Santa Barbara. Villarreal from San Marcos High School. And not San Marcos in San Diego, but the San Marcos up the coast.
Well, next week on SoCalCollegeSports.com, just one game on the slate. It'll be Palomar at Ventura. There's another 3-0 team here in 2018. The Pirates looking to solidify their position in the National Northern Division.
Little known fact, my brother played for the Palomar Comets.
Yeah, right.
Villarreal looking for his first throw of the night, and he's going to go out of bounds shy of the first down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, they'll give him the 30, and very likely going to see the punting unit here again.
See Max Hernandez, the referee, saying, wind that clock.
Get us out of here.
Even though he did go out of bounds, wind that clock. So we got to do some research here because I got to find out how many punts. Can we find that out? Hold on. Punting. This is the 13th punt. 13th punt of the night.
Ogliati getting some reps. Again.
The ball down at 32-yard line. 13 punts.
6:01 remaining in this one.
What is the SCFA record on punts in one night?
I don't know. I got a feeling it's more than what we've seen tonight, though.
So more than likely you're going to see Michael Wilson, I would assume, back out running the Cougar offense. And yes, check to see who is the running back for him. It was Carter last series. And they run to the left side, trying to get a number on that. Is that Thomas, Manny Thomas? How many got, Mike? Is that 47? Yeah. Manny Thomas, yeah.
I think so.
It is Manny Thomas.
Manny, good old Manny.
For another Quartz Hill Rebel. We've got a number of Quartz Hill Rebels coming down the hill to play for the Cougars. Thomas, a freshman, a member of that Quartz Hill Rebels CIF champion squad. Not quite sure. I think it was Division 7, if I remember, 7 or 5. Not remembering. Thomas again inside, handoff. He's going to be close to the first down. It looks like he's going to have enough.
You can give it to Manny. Good sportsmanship here. You know, a lot of times here, Barry, you'll see a lot of animosity on the opposing side in a blowout, and not the case here in Santa Barbara, showing a lot of class in defeat, a big defeat at the hands of one of the top teams in the state. College of the Canyons.
So what does this say about the Cougars? And in looking at this, is 63-0, and it's obvious, that Santa Barbara City, knowing that they're not of the level of COC, but can we gauge anything on this, and can we look to the future and predict anything from tonight's game?
I think the thing that we can gather from tonight is that COC didn't let their guard down. As Manny breaks one big.
Oh, the turf monster got him at the 42.
Yeah, it was the Buffalo Wild Wings sprinkler. Pops up on the turf, and Manny goes to it. Big game, big good chunk play for Manny on that one. New set of downs. Clock continues to wind. What does it tell us tonight? The result? A 3-0 start in 2018. First off, they haven't really played anybody yet. Saddleback seems to be having a down year. They're in doubt in terms of their record here in week 3. They might go 0-3 to start off 2018. Grossmont, they drop one here today, and Santa Barbara outmatched. So they haven't played anybody, but on the flip side of that, Cougars have taken care of business when need be, and they are primed for a big season. They have steady quarterback play. They have electric receivers and running backs. They have a grinded out defense, an unbelievable defensive back unit. I think, if anything, you'd like to see a little bit more pressure up front, and when you combine that in terms of your play in the secondary and then up front, those are the types of teams that are threats later on in the season. And do you develop that depth? Can the Cougars do that? And I think that's exactly what they're doing here tonight in a big way.
Nelson James on that last carry. James from Hart High School, the sophomore running back. You see Wilson looking to the sideline and milking as much time off this clock as possible. James breaks it loose, and he's going to get inside the 30 and enough for the first down. We've got a very late flag on the far side, and they're going to call hold against the Cougars. So we'll probably know more next week after Cerritos. Be probably a better contest for the Cougars. But then again, 2 weeks from tonight, a Golden West team that has had a rough go of it, but they played 2 very, very difficult opponents in week 1 and 2. And then the trip to Moore Park on the Thursday night contest, East LA. And, I mean, they're going to have enough I don't want to say experience, but they're going to have enough in the season in the tank ready to go for that Ventura. The thing that Coach Isenda, and he talked about it, the thing he can't do is they can't, look at that schedule and circle October 27th.
Yeah, they got to take it a week at a time. They have to take it down at a time. You have to keep on continually getting better week in and week out.
James breaks at the left side. He's got some green in front of him, puts his head down, and gets across the 35 down near the 34-yard line.
And Jordan Francis on the receiving end of that one. Big collision near side.
I always wondered that. It's like the defender, if a defensive guy does that, puts his head down, he gets a targeting, but the runner does it, and it's like, nice play, way to go, high five.
Well, they're trying to outlaw that in the NFL, and you have to worry about getting trucked, I guess, in the NFL, but you have to worry about picking up 15 yards.
And James comes to the near sideline, and back in there again is Thomas. So the 3rd and 6 here for the Cougars. Inside 2 minutes left in the contest, and now we've got a delay of game. So the clock stopped with 1:48 left. Again, thanks to Consumers Furniture, Salt Creek Grill, AV Equipment Rental, as well as our friends at Chick-fil-A, the Valencia Town Center, for supporting Cougar football. Pistol formation for Wilson, hands it off to the deep man Thomas. He breaks through, he's got a first down, and then some cutting back. And he was just a trip away from taking it to the house. Gets tripped up at the 20-yard line.
And some good and bad from Thomas on this drive. You see the burst, you see the speed, but he tackled himself once, and then a one-arm tackle there. You got to be able to fight through that. So, something for that young man to work on, but you certainly like the talent out there. He's had a couple of chunk plays on this drive alone.
Also, let's give a credit to the line has been opening up even here in the 3rd and 4th quarter. That 2nd and 3rd string line open up huge holes.
Yeah.
Running the clock down inside of a minute. Thomas will take it to the right side to 10, to 5, and out of bounds there. So, yeah, there they go. Wind that clock up. Go. So, Mike, before we get out of here, let's talk about good things and things that the Cougars need to work on. Talk about the good things.
Well, there's a lot of good that came from this game. You certainly liked the game from the secondary. Did a great job in terms of not really allowing much. Defensively, you were fantastic. I think early on you might have gotten bitten by a big play, but luckily that pass incomplete to Whitehead. And that was one where you let the receiver get over the top of the defense, and that simply can't happen against better teams. I think one thing to take away is Thomas is going to run into the end
flag.
zone.
They're going to bring it back.
Laundry on the field, indeed. It looks like this is going to be going the wrong way. But getting
I'm not fully convinced the ref doesn't go, hey, we don't want to.
Yeah, let's hold off here. Let's give him a break. No, I think you're exactly right. It's something where the secondary showed well, the defensive line showed well. I think the start was a little sluggish. That's definitely something to shore up. You cannot come out cold against a really good team. Against Ventura, they come out tonight, or they come out against Ventura like they did tonight, they'll be down 21-0 before they knew what hit them.
So the clock is going to expire, and the game is officially over, and the College of the Canyons Cougars improved to 3-0 overall on the season. Santa Barbara City drops to 1-2. The Cougars now head to face Cerritos next Saturday night. It's a 6 p.m. start at Cerritos College. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be back here September 29th at 6 p.m. for Golden West. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Salt Creek Grill in the Valencia Town Center. Best Sunday brunch in town. And you got a great opportunity tomorrow to check it out. Don't forget their catering, live music Friday and Saturday nights. I want to thank Chick-fil-A, Valencia Town Center, right around the corner from Salt Creek, as a matter of fact. Now open till 11 o'clock Monday through Saturday in the Valencia Town Center. Thanks to Tom Williams and his crew. We also want to thank our friends at Consumers Furniture and Greg Moser and his family, serving the Santa Cruz Valley for over 40 years, and the top leather furniture gallery in the entire Santa Cruz Valley, voted best furniture store as well for the past 8 years, just down the road from Sam's Club. And finally, AV Equipment Rentals on Railroad Avenue. And whatever the tool is, if it's a skip loader or if you just need something to dig a hole in your backyard, they've got it there, as well as propane for your barbecue. So, Mike, thank you to you. Great to have you with us here up at the College of the Canyons. And we've got a season that I think, again, we've talked about it all night long. We've got an opportunity. Ted Iacenta doesn't want to, talk too far about that, but I think with the talent that we saw tonight, this Cougar team has a chance to be really special.
It's his job to set the goal. It's our job to talk about it. I don't think number one in the nation is out of the realm for a group that is just absolutely destroys an outmanned and outgunned Santa Barbara team. Would like to thank everybody for watching. Obviously, you can catch the archived copy of this broadcast on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Hit us up on Twitter at SoCal College SPN, and of course, check out the website www.socalcollegesports.com. That will do it here for Week 3 in the books. Again, moving to 3-0 COC over Santa Barbara, 63-0.
All right, we'll see you 2 weeks from tonight against Golden West. You've been listening to SCFA College of the Canyons Cougars football here on SoCalCollegesports.com. Good night.
We're looking for young men who are selfless, great players. Our strength and conditioning program is second to none. I would place what we do in the off season up against any. Our goal is to move these student athletes on, but have them excel when they get to where they're going. Creating that culture is have to have the student athletes that aren't afraid of competition in order to achieve that. This is not just a program for football players. This is a program for engineers, future lawyers, doctors, teachers. We're very excited about the history of College of the Canyons. We've sent players to every major conference in the country, all the mid-majors. We've had Cougars participate in the